Good evening, brothers and sisters of the Leaf. Coming to you live on the beach from Club Transient, where the boys dress like girls and dance with girls and sometimes dance with boys. And the rum-based cocktails are always super fucking strong. It's the Tuesday Night Cigar Club podcast. Tonight, our crew slips rolls of quarters down the front of their Speedos as they discuss the 2014 bro comedy, Mantervention, while smoking the Fratello, is it Fratello or Fratello? I'm going to go with Fratello Bianco cigar and pounding back pint after pint of the Fresh Coast IPA from Friends Allies Brewing. Mantervention, huh? I think I may have had one of those back in my boarding school days. Seems like there's a foggy memory there that's been repressed, and probably with a very good reason. Well, it's off to the hypnotherapist I go. Thanks a lot, guys. Anywho, sit back, folks, light 'em up, and enjoy the show.
Dang, look at that.
It's a generous head. You got to excuse me, boys, if I'm not my usual jovial self this evening. I'm sort of bummed out. This girl I know really well. She struggled finding love her whole life. And just recently found out she got engaged to a real phony. The guy's a loser.
Oh, that sucks.
And I know she's going to get hurt, and it sucks because there's nothing I can do about it. And I'm just kind of like, it's just kind of throwing me off. So I'm going to try to, you know how protective I am.
The phony is not me, by the way.
No, it's not. But you know how protective I am of my friends and people I know, and I just...
Are you talking about Rachel?
I am talking about Rachel.
Yeah.
So...
It's yeah. What can you say?
I mean, you want people to make their own mistakes, but...
I'd really prefer if you'd correct mine for me.
Well, you know what? After this, I am, because I was with her on this journey of finding love for how many episodes now?
All season. I don't know.
The whole
exactly.
Season. And she ended up choosing Brian. Now, granted, the other two guys were planks too, so...
I liked Eric. He was just a little immature.
But,
Oh, you fucking douchebags are talking about some reality show, aren't you? I thought you were being serious. I thought like you really had some friend named Rachel. You had me.
I was along on her journey for like 3-4 months.
Fucking cockknockers.
I don't think you really understand the investment we make into this.
I understand you two are a pair of sons of whores.
I don't think we need to. Well, I'm not gonna say you're out of line yet.
But by the way, next time you're all, I don't feel comfortable in front of the camera. Nice job, F. Murray Abraham. You had me going there. That was hook, line, and sinker. What? I was like, how have I not heard of her? I don't know about this.
Rachel, when you find yourself alone and hurt again, you always have a shoulder to cry on in the corner of no hope.
I don't know.
Trust us, we know about no hope.
I don't know because she had me, but that last episode, I don't know if I'm with her. I don't know if I'm on Team Rachel anymore.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Jesus Christ.
If you could just kill me.
Speaking of... Welcome, everybody. Before I get into that, welcome to the Tuesday Night Cigar Club podcast, where true love is found every night.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're talking.
Episode 56-ish? 56.
Let's go with 56-ish. I like that. It's close enough.
Episode 56. Man, we've been on schedule with our shows because we kind of piled them up because we had Todd had to go stayed on some business stuff. So we're on track, but it feels like I haven't seen you guys here in a while. So, my God, it feels good to get back in the saddle here. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Doing good.
To my right, as always, is the avuncular Yak Boy. Next to him, we have the doctor himself. Doc, how you doing?
I was doing fine. You spun that whole yarn about true love. I really thought we were getting somewhere.
Well, like I said, true love had nothing to do with what I saw the other night.
Otherwise, I'm doing
That's
fine.
true.
It's good to be back.
It's true. It's very true.
Mr. Tuttle with the headphones, you doing okay over there?
I am sweating my bejesus off.
That was what, 110,000 degrees today?
It is so dang hot.
It really is here in Central Texas. You mentioned, bachelorettes, celebrities. Obviously, we're not at the level of a Rachel Lindsay or someone who goes out in public and gets recognized. But I had my first almost celebrity moment the other day.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Do tell.
Real quick, I think you guys will appreciate this. I'm driving from the little village I live in on the highway, about 20 miles into Temple, Texas, where our favorite pub is.
This is a real story?
Real
or
story this
is
time.
Somebody from Big Brother After Dark?
Real story.
Okay.
You can
All right,
don't
I'll quit
check the
looking at
baseball game.
scores.
I'm driving a good 20-mile stretch from where I live down the direction of O'Brien's pub in historic downtown Temple, Texas, on the very busy highway, interstate. And as I'm about to exit off the highway, this dude pulls up next to me on the interstate and starts honking like crazy. And he rolls down his window and he's pointing at me and he's smiling and he's giving me like this like chugging beer thing.
Okay, because
no. He's not doing that.
You have to.
Well,
be
at first I
watching
thought he
the
was
YouTube
giving. At
video
first I
for
thought he
that
was giving me like the Hawaiian hang loose thing.
Kate is famous in the O'Brien's men's bathroom.
At first I thought he was giving me the O'Brien's hang loose thing, but then it was more. But it was more like this, and I'm like, this guy's a weirdo, young guy, but it's kind of weirdo. So I exit, and then he exits too, and then we get down to a light.
Now he's just straight stalking.
Well, now we get to light, and I'm at a red light, and he pulls over to go another direction.
Yeah.
But he stops before. He doesn't have a light, but he still stops, looks over at me, honks again, and is like, and I'm like, that fucker's listening to the podcast, recognized me, and that's probably. Oh, and he had this time he had a to-go, like a thermos in his hand. I'm like, that fool is listening to the Tuesday Night Cigar Club. He's got a road beer in there. Saw me, and he's like, check it out, it's Cade, and he's showing me that he's drinking and having a good time. So I'm like, that's got to be it. Like, what else is this crazy idea? Why is he obsessed with showing me that he's drinking? And
I think that motion could mean something entirely different.
So I proceed to pull into the Target superstore, and right as I pull into a spot, another car pulls in right behind my truck.
Yeah.
Like corners me, like to where I can't get out, like literally like right behind my truck. And I'm looking in the rearview mirror. I got my daughters with me, so I'm instantly a little nervous because I'm being blocked in. And this chick gets out of her car. She's about 6 feet tall, huge knockers, and big high heels, short little skirt. And she gets out and she walks up to my driver's and I'm like, did we our last episode go viral or something? Like, am I is there something going on I don't know about? And she's smiling as she's walking up in the mirror. I'm like, what the all right. I'm like, to the dog, I'm like, this is a big moment. My daughter's gonna be like, my dad's a rock star.
Superstar.
So I roll down the window and she's like, hi. I'm like, hi. And she's like, I just wanted you to know. And I just thought you'd like to know. And I'm waiting. I'm like, go ahead. I'm him. You had this on your bumper as you were driving, and I thought you might want it back. It's my coffee mug. I drove all the way to 20 miles with my coffee mug on the back of my truck. That's what that guy was trying to tell me. I had a coffee mug on the back of my truck.
Actually, that's kind of awesome. How did the coffee mug stay on?
That in and of itself, from a physics standpoint, it's a bumpy interstate. I was going at least 75. Isn't that something?
It's something.
Technically, it is something. Yes.
Drink some of this beer.
Oh.
Maybe that'll erase that.
It's a problem, Tut.
Forgot my cutter over in my bag. Thank you, sir.
Well, at least I brought a little story to the table. What do you guys got?
That was a story?
I'm not gonna make him happy with anything, am I?
No, never.
Jeez, it was just a question. Sorry, Nick Saban.
Who's that?
Alabama football coach.
No, I'm not familiar with football names. Coffee mug story. Let me cross that off my notes. Give that an A+.
I don't think you actually get to grade your own stories.
Do I not?
No. No.
Are you the one that's been grading these for me?
I have.
Damn it.
A lot of them were Fs.
There's a
for
lot
reason.
of stuff crossed out. Okay. Well, no, we're not famous yet, but we're getting there. Never say never. Never say never. We're gonna do tonight what we always do. We're gonna smoke a cigar, drink some beer, and talk about a film.
Oh, that sounds like the best news all week.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, let's get to it. Unless you guys have something.
I'm waiting for the action to begin. The doctor is in.
Oh.
Let the fun begin.
Oh, it's begun. Did I tell you guys the coffee mug story?
You just
Yes.
did.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. How about I tell you guys about the cigar we're smoking tonight?
Do it.
That would be fantastic.
Fratello Bianco is the name of the cigar. By
Fratello Bianco.
Fratello Cigars. Fratello Cigars, give you a little background here. They are the creation of a man named Omar de Frias. Interesting guy. He previously worked as a pro basketball player in the Dominican for years. Huge guy, like almost 7 foot tall dude. If you see him at cigar conventions, stuff, I mean, the guy's just a giant. He also worked for NASA as a rocket scientist up until recently. I believe a rocket scientist, but he's a longtime NASA employee. Just recently retired to do cigars full time. The Fratello Bianco is the second offering from the boutique company. First Maduro cigar they put out. Their first one was just the Fratello, whereas this one, Bianco, meaning white, has the white label. The original had a red label with white text on it. I have had some of those and enjoyed them. I have not had this one. It hails from one of my favorite factories, the legendary Joya de Nicaragua factory in Nicaragua. This cigar comes equipped with a dark Mexican San Andreas Maduro wrapper, a Dominican binder that's filled with a blend of Nicaraguan, Peruvian, and Pennsylvania broadleaf long fillers. Sounds
Nicaraguan, Peruvian, and Pennsylvanian.
Yeah.
It's an interesting combination.
Yeah, so were my parents. Omar explained in a press release that Fratello has been his nickname since college. It means brother in Italian and embodies the true nature of the cigar industry: camaraderie, family, and friendship. So if you add that brother aspect of Fratello with Bianco, white, I think the cigar fits tonight's film beautifully. It's about two white guys who are best friends and do very white guy things together. So
Excellent tie-in. Nicely done.
You know, given all that's going on,
I was about to say, are we going to get in trouble for this?
I just realized going on with all the nature of what's going on with country and all, maybe a cigar that translates to white brotherhood isn't the best. Well, what are you going to do?
As always, our timing is impeccable here at the Tuesday Night Cigar Club.
I could just see this dude going, what the fuck did he just say?
That's made by a 7 foot tall Brazilian guy. I'm sure there's no. I'm sure he's not into white supremacy.
I do not know what Omar de Frias' background is, but I'm sure he'll understand. If it was any other week except this week, for God's sake. Damn you, nationalists.
If he's seen our shows, he'll definitely understand.
That's true. But it was so innocent, my thinking, like, oh, white brother. Like, yeah, it's a movie about two white brothers. I turn on the news. Ah, shit. Well,
What were you going to expect?
Oh,
from
great.
me?
David Duke just tweeted, love the TNCC.
Yeah, right, great, awesome.
Cody,
We're being asked to speak at A&M next week.
Cody, tell us a little bit about Nazi IPA. Nazi father's IPA. It's a very nice smelling cigar.
Oh, it's got some sweetness. I think that's probably, I want to say it's a little bit of hint to the Peruvian.
Could be. It could also. I get a lot of sweetness on the smell sometimes from the Mexican San Andreas.
Yeah.
So, white brotherhood aside, brothers.
Don't mention it again.
Well, anybody who listens to our show know I'll probably be mentioning it quite a bit. We are Tuesday Night Cigar Club is anti-Nazi,
Yes.
Yes.
anti-white nationalist.
We are pro Sanpan.
Huh?
What does that
See a
mean?
Nazi, punch a Nazi.
Oh yeah, we're all for punching Nazis in the balls. What's ripping Nazis' balls off and then kicking them where they used to have balls?
I believe they call that soccer.
Since when do guys who play soccer have balls?
Oh, now you just had to
he
go
played
further.
basketball. He played basketball. See, you think watching The Bachelorette, that's how I look at watching soccer. You think it's silly. I think it's silly. See, we're even. Different strokes for different folks.
I like soccer.
You like everything.
I'll go with different strokes for different folks.
That's a
I won't.
That's a medical term, doctor.
It actually it is, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I've said it before at the medical review board.
It's the sloppiest incision we've ever seen, doctor. Well, different strokes for different folks. Anyway, I've been wanting to get these on the show for a while, and we've new brand, new name. Let's give it a shot. To go with
The Hitler Hefeweizen. The Goebbels Golden Ale.
well, no,
We can go on all night.
yeah. The movie tonight, Mantervention, the cigar, the Fratello Bianco. Our movie has a big time beach presence.
Yeah.
Big time bikini fun beach presence. After last week's sour episode, I wanted to go in opposite direction.
Yeah.
So we found a beached themed beer, and the Yak Boy, I would love to learn more about it because I know nothing about it.
It is the Friends and Allies Brewing out of Austin, Texas.
I've never heard of them.
They are very recent. This is their Fresh Coast IPA.
Fresh Coast.
Fresh Coast
What is a
IPA.
Fresh Coast?
Just a name they chose out of many long things.
Oh,
They probably
okay.
could have just called it number 2. Who would have known?
Well, Tuttle wouldn't like that. He doesn't like things named with numbers.
No. Well, but they are actually very new. They only started brewing here around 2015.
Last week.
Last week.
My God.
No. But they are
2015. 15, yeah, okay.
so they're about 2 years old now. So
Were you familiar with them?
I was not.
So they're
This is brand new. I mean, they have not. They are located in Austin and haven't even moved out. They haven't even begun distributing outside of Austin. So this is
Okay.
very
I was
exciting.
about to say, I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. They got 2 years in and already getting distribution, but no, it was Austin where I picked it up.
Yeah, they are currently still self-distributing themselves. So wherever they can get it in Austin is where they are right now.
Do you have an address for them?
As a matter of fact, I do. If you want to visit, they are in East Austin on 979 Springdale Road.
East Austin, hipsters.
We can
Yeah.
actually go visit them?
Yes, you can.
Oh.
They're
bring a gift?
If you're unfamiliar with the territory, they are
Bring a bottle of
adjacent
wine.
to the Austin East Siders experimental facility.
Okay.
I'm really kind of concerned now. Why would a cider company need an experimental facility? What are they experimenting on?
Super cider.
Super cider.
Well, all that sounds just trendy as all get out.
Actually, it gets even worse.
Oh, no.
Because now you can go and get delicious tasting beers and ciders, and then you can go over to the Austin Bouldering Project, which will be the largest bouldering gym in North America.
What's a bouldering?
I have no clue, but it just sounded
Do you, like,
fantastic.
roll
I had to include it
boulders?
in my notes.
It's like CrossFit, only you push boulders around?
It's like Sisyphus, just pushing it up rock up a hill.
the big farm tire. So last year you got boulders.
Now we gotta
now.
do boulders.
There's
I didn't understand a word of anything you said.
Exactly.
From the super experimental labs to the boulder thing.
let me give you some words that you will understand. This is an IPA.
I'm an
It's
IPA
a
guy.
7.5% ABV.
I like that high number.
Hops include Comet, El Dorado, Cascade, and Centennial. You can really taste those in there.
I can get the Comet. I'm tasting the Comet hop.
I can't taste any of those.
I was like, wow, you guys are good.
Now, I am concerned because it does say that this has 100 plus IBUs.
It does not.
It does not.
There's no way this thing has 100. And honestly, when I read the thing and I saw that, it was like hundreds ... question mark like. But as I read a few reviews, it was more, lots of floral, even like a lager component. I was like,
I would probably say this is right in about 60.
I was gonna say 65, 70.
Yeah, I was probably going to say about 72.
72.
Yes,
Not 71 or 73.
72.
72.
In my expert
And of course,
opinion.
the hipsterness follows in with their own. The aroma, you'll get such things as tropical fruit, pine, citrus, and danky.
Danky?
It's danky.
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 What is
Danky,
danky?
like a danky basement?
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah. Danky.
I don't know.
Like
if
Stephen King says, they went down to the danky basement. That's kind of...
Pretty much. So I'm like, wow, that's... Someone was really digging through a thesaurus on this one.
Wow. Calvin Klein's Danky. Starring the ad campaign with members of the Tuesday Night Cigar Club. Danky. What's that smell? Danky.
A new cologne by the doctor? Danky.
Did a cow shit in here? No.
See me in a blazer with no shirt on underneath? The doctor brings you danky.
Did the basement flood again? No, the doctor's visiting.
It's danky time.
It's danky time. Wow, why
the
would you
hell's
describe
danky?
something you drink as danky? That's a horrible...
Why would you describe anything as danky?
I think maybe
That's what hipsters do.
they were thinking it would fit along with, when someone says dank.
Dank is bad, too.
Well, I know, but like...
The passionate romance began in my
Wait,
danky bedroom.
Didn't we drink a Dankosaurus?
We did drink a Dankosaurus
Yes.
Why'd they name that Danko? That was a good beer.
because it was kind of funny.
Funny tasting?
No, it was a funny name. Dude,
Well,
I like
this-
saying Dankosaurus.
All right, well, let's forget all the nonsense about... On the can, it has a little chart on IBUs that has it above 100 to face-melting
This is not face
proportions. My face is not.
No.
But then right above it, it says refreshingly in your face.
Versus just stripping your face off like, paint stripper.
Or that Nazi at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders of the
Well,
Lost
that
Ark.
could happen too.
More Nazis, Scott.
Get away from it. It's good, but you know what? Jokes aside with the crazy... Anything else? Before
Ark of the Covenant face melting IPA.
my face isn't melting. I'm getting a nice dankiness.
I will say that
It's very smooth.
I will
don't
say
get
I
harshness.
like
Wonderful notes of mildew and fungus. Was that all you got?
Yes.
I imagine a new company. There's not. too
There's
much
not a
stuff.
whole lot. They don't have too many.
It's first one, and we're just kind of talking and stuff. I haven't really focused on yet. I like it,
it's like a West Coast IPA. It's good.
but it's got.
I think if they would
the
leave
hops
it-
I'm looking
let-
for. It's got a little nice floral note to it.
They should probably let their customers choose what sort of adjectives describe their.
I will say that
Somebody send Friends and Allies a thesaurus, for God's sake.
because it's so dang hot outside, that might be, improving it in my opinion. Because I'm just so ready for a beer.
What were you saying, Doc? You like it?
Yeah, it's real smooth. I don't get any kind of bitterness from it at
No,
all.
it's got
No.
a nice bite, a nice hoppy bite, but nothing crazy. Nothing that's going to
It's not melting my
melt
face
my
off.
face off.
It's not slapping my face off. It's
I'm gonna
not knocking the salt off my balls.
I'm going to slap you in the face with something salty about an hour from now.
Talk about danky.
I'll knock the salt off your balls.
We're getting ahead of ourselves. These are all wonderful lines from tonight's movie. Maybe we should sit the boys over at Friends and Allies down for a Mantervention. Look, man, we got to talk about your beer descriptions. And
No, we just need to have a marketing class with them and be like,
Yeah.
all right, tone down the
And we
hipster
These
gotta
sound like way as much fun as the Mantervention from the film. Let's have a marketing class. Let's have a vocabulary sit down.
Yeah, that's not what I was thinking at all. I was thinking we got to get them the hell away from that secret cider laboratory. What was it called? The secret cider
The
laboratory?
East Siders Experimental Facility. What kind of experiments are you doing? I mean, I imagine
It's to improve your
screams
bouldering
of, like,
ability.
monkeys in cages or
Swamp
something.
sauce.
It's like Halloween 3. What's in there? Final processing. That's where they're doing something with the cider.
Why are all these rubber masks coming out of here?
A nice spice on ignition. led into a dark chocolate and earthiness to me on the cigar. Where you guys at?
Oh, I thought you were describing a doctor's danky cologne. Danky by the doctor. Still. I'm afraid it's far too early to tell.
I missed that.
No, I get a little bit of the earthiness too.
You get some earthiness?
Yeah.
You get some sweetness?
Yeah.
Or some spice, I'm sorry?
I'm not really getting a ton of spice on it.
It's not overpowering at all.
And now I'm wondering if that spice is just being muted by the IPA of Friends and Allies here.
Could be a little bit muted. I
taste
sensing
the
it.
earthiness part of it. There's a sweetness there, but I also think the sweetness is also backed by the IPA.
Don't get any spice either. I always have trouble articulating these things, but you say earthiness, I kind of understand what you mean by that.
Okay. I'm getting a really nice earthiness and a little dark chocolate and just a slight spice. And but you're right. I don't know how much of that is the hops from the beer.
It's like I can almost try to taste spice, but I think the spice is being contradicted by the beer.
I don't drink coffee, but there's almost like a slight like vanilla bean kind of.
Okay.
For some reason, I want to say that.
Okay. Well, let's
Because I'm going to market my cologne under that.
These
instead of
are,
danky.
see, there you go. Vanilla bean. That sounds nice.
Exactly.
Danky basement. Not so much. All right. Well, we'll come back. It's way early. Yak Boy just lit up.
I'm gonna start an underwear
the
line
dank-
called Vanilla Beans.
You start danky underwear. Danky drawers by Tut.
Bianco beans.
Bianca beans.
Fruit of the danky loom.
All right. Well, that's where we're at libation wise. We'll keep riding the Friends and Allies IPA all night long. Fresh Coast IPA. I'll come back to the cigar here in a little bit. It's I believe a 5x44 cigar, so it's not as short as the Knuckle Dragger or some of the other little ones we've had, but it will go fast.
I'll be done in 5 minutes.
Try to slow down.
I'm trying.
Try to slow down. But while we're getting our palates adjusted to these things, let's talk about Mantervention.
Mantervention. Tell us more, because it's...
All right, look, guys. We've been doing a lot of horror films for whatever reason lately.
and you decided to keep that team up. It was pretty horrible.
Says you. Oh. And
I
me.
agree.
You guys?
No.
No, I tease.
I'm giving it a thumbs up, and I don't care who says.
Knew he'd like it.
Dude.
I wanted to do a comedy.
Brotherhood.
It's hot out. I just want to do a comedy we could have fun with, drink a lot of beers. But we always go to the 80s and early 90s.
And I'm at the end of it, I'm always saying, well, why can't people today make these kind of
Well,
movies?
this was the closest thing I could find that was, last few years. A bunch of horny guys. So I was like, let's just go for it. We're doing Mantervention. It is available for streaming on Amazon Prime.
Yep.
For free. If not, you can rent it for a few bucks.
Yep.
It is from 2014, so relatively recent.
Yeah.
It's what I wanted, a recent titty flick.
And it was so funny because
It's
I
too
was
hot
like,
to do a serious movie. You can't do it.
I was like, all right. So you told me, you were like, you know what? We've been doing a lot of horror movies, and I just kind of want to break away because not everybody is a horror fan, and I kind of want to break away from that. And I'm like, all right, Kate gets it. He's getting it. It's like let's kind of spread out the demographic and go for something. We had a good. We didn't like Green Inferno, but we had a great discussion on the technique side.
We did.
Of
It was a good show.
So I really kind of want to find something fun, and my mind's going comedy. All right, Kate.
So tonight's movie, The Exorcist.
Kate is branching out. So we're going to do Mantervention, and I'm like, wait, what? Mantervention? It's a TNA flick, and I was like, oh.
What were you wanting, like the Big Lebowski?
Yeah, I was thinking like so I was like, man, Kate doesn't get this.
Tut, you did understand TNA doesn't stand for Texas and Arkansas, my friend.
Oh, man.
But it turned out you enjoyed it.
I liked it.
All right, how about that?
And I went into this movie trying to poo on it from
Cade
the
won-
very beginning.
Cade 1, Tut 0.
Yeah, if we just scored this one movie.
Well, to be honest, is the podcast world really need any more time spent by white guys talking about The Big Lebowski? I think that's probably played. And I really have no interest in watching that movie, so we'll never do that one.
Let's get back to Mantervention.
Let's get back to Mantervention, which I believe, without seeing The Big Lebowski, is the superior film.
We'll just go with that. Yeah.
Hey, you know what, though? I don't want you to be alone on that one. I have not seen The Big Lebowski either.
There you go.
To be honest, I've only seen parts of it.
See?
What?
Yeah, I've never seen it.
And it's funny because I love John Goodman, and apparently he's a beast in this thing, and I'm just kind of like, whatever. I've seen parts of it, but the parts that I've seen have just been kind of like,
Well,
but we're not talking about...
Mantervention was not directed by the Coen brothers. Imagine that. It was directed by a guy named Stuart Archer. We start things off in a young... Notice how I just moved on from...
Yes.
I usually...
Good play. Speaking of moving on, I would love for you to move on over to that.
You know what? I need another one as well. You guys on deck? For something that melts my face off, it sure goes down smooth.
Can you please open the Ark of the Covenant again for me?
The can says it melts your liver off. Who cares? Had a good run.
Had a good run. Ah, thank you, sir.
You bet. Let's crack these open before I get us into this film. Boy, that heat is just motherfucker.
It is not playing around.
One might say we're drinking these cold beers tonight for our health to stay hydrated.
We are.
Doctor, that is...
I would recommend it. You must drink plenty of fluids in the hot, humid weather.
It's a man of science.
I'm not going to argue with my doctor. He's actually my primary physician now. We'll see how that goes.
Do I need to take a picture of you tonight so we can have like the before and after?
It was weird. I submitted his bills to my insurance company, and they had some questions.
Some questions.
We'll talk after the show, Doc. Doc, it's gone.
I'm hiding behind the curtains. That's as far as I'm willing to go.
Well, we start things off in Mantervention in a young guy named Spencer's messy bedroom as his best friend, Coke, explains to us in a voiceover that Spence used to be a great loyal friend and a decent mixed martial artist until about 6 weeks ago when his girlfriend Allison dumped him and his world went to shit. About now is where the camera makes its way across the bedroom to the computer desk where Spencer's going to town with his hand down his pants.
He's spanking it.
Spanking it.
Some online porn.
And here I am going, I don't like the voiceover guy. Now I've got a spanking dude on my deal.
Interesting note.
I hate this movie.
This is the second movie in a row we've done where a guy jerks off on screen. Take that, Mark Maron.
Oh, that's true.
Podcast first, baby.
That's true. What are you trying to tell us, Cade?
Anywho, I just thought I'd toss that out there.
The flavors from the beer and cigar sour as you speak.
Please melt my face off. Well, suddenly, Coke's voiceover is cut short when Spence's mom barges in the bedroom to bring her sickly boy some vitamin C. I say young dude, but he's probably late 20s.
Yeah.
Late 20s-ish.
I assumed in the film that they were supposed to be like...
I thought mid-20s.
I was thinking
Mid-20s.
like right out of college, like 23, 24, 25 is what they were supposed to be.
Yeah, they were right about that. They seemed all right for their age.
That sounds about right.
Who was the mom? Because she looked familiar.
She is
Come
not
on.
credited in IMDb, which
I know exactly who it is.
Yeah.
I knew immediately who she was.
You didn't
She's
recognize her?
Mrs. Ripley from Chet Ripley's wife in Great Outdoors, John Candy's wife.
That's okay. 'cause
But she's
those
not
eyes-
credited on IMDb.
Stephanie Pharisee.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, because those eyes look so damn familiar.
As soon as she started
that's her.
talking, you knew that voice.
Yeah. All right.
Chet, you can't be serious.
I have a feeling why maybe she requested not to be credited in this film. In this first scene,
She gets to pick up a handful of tissues.
she's super concerned about her depressed son and what he does in his room all day. So she starts going around picking up handfuls of Kleenex that are dripping with Spence's ejaculate. Is that correct?
Ejaculate would be a medical term. I prefer jizz.
Jizz. But yeah, as soon as she
Spooge
started, like her fingers were stuck together, I was like, oh,
Man yogurt, whatever you want to call it.
that's why is man yogurt a medical term?
And then I don't
No.
I don't want to give anything
No.
away to a certain. Well, no, I'm not even going to go there. All right, moving on.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
You're going to talk about your own Kleenex issues?
Again, I can't really taste the beer, the cigar, with so much bile building up in my mouth.
All right. Let's not choke that chicken to death.
Come on, boys, grab on. Let's just go along with this. As the sticky goo drops from her fingers, she tells Spence that she'll get him some decongestants. Oh, moms.
She brought him his vitamin C.
She thinks the sticky goo is snot.
Because he's been crying
But
so
as the
much.
doctor said, in technical terms, it's actually man yogurt.
Old Spencer's been going for a ride on the old Jism Trail.
But she gives him this word of advice before she leaves. Some of her girlfriends have been having a lot of luck on MILF.com, and they've met some really fun, interesting young men. Maybe you should try that out. And he promises her, you know what, I'll try it just to get her out of there so we can start spanking again.
I looked up MILF.com, and it's not a dating site.
Is it not?
No.
There is one that I see commercials for on TV with like some lady walking around hooking the older ladies up with young. Isn't MILF.com?
Oh, I don't know. I actually didn't go to MILF.com because I always go to farmers.com.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk.
There's a lot to explore here, but
I think Tut needs a Mantervention.
Sounds like he's already got a man.
Farmer.
Hey, I'm just saying that I'm liberated.
Does he harvest Comet hops? Because that's what I'm tasting in this bad boy.
Nice redirection.
I don't get paid the big bucks for nothing. Well, speaking of resuming, Coke's voiceover kicks back in, and we see a series of flashbacks as he fills us in a little more on his buddy Spencer. You see, when they were little, Spence would sit inside and read his mommy's romance novels while the other kids were playing outside. While other kids watched slasher movies, he watched Breakfast at Tiffany's with mommy crying on the couch. Spence daydreams about long walks on the beach. He cries at the opera.
All right, well, I never watched Breakfast at Tiffany's with my mom. I spent the time crying on the couch by myself.
The dude is a hopeless romantic, and as the much cooler Coke tells us, it's just fucking tragic.
I am a hopeless romantic.
Being romantic is like herpes. You keep it to yourself, it's all about suppression. That's what Coke says. Doctor, is that an accurate treatment philosophy for herpes?
No, but could you write that down? I'd like to take that with me. I have a paper I have to prepare for Monday.
A paper.
Yes.
About herpes.
Well, it's going to be printed in a journal about venereal disease and
What's the name of the journal?
the New England Journal of Medicine.
Story checks out.
Check that one out, smart guy.
Well, now...
All right, fine. Throw the bills away. In fact, that's what I told you to do in the first place. I never wanted the insurance company involved.
It was funny, the minute I left the doctor's office, I looked, it was invisible ink. It disappeared the minute sunlight hit it. Well, now we finally get to meet Coke himself as he's in an airport TSA security line. He gets whisked away by some smoking hot TSA agent
He's going through
as he's going through the X-ray. She takes one look at his nether regions and grabs him and says, "I need to screen you privately." And she takes him to this little side room. Story of my life.
No, it isn't.
Well, she saw his giant penis in the X-ray. And
yes, no, I know that's not the story of your life.
Yeah. I heard it both ways.
Happens to me every time I fly. It's a burden.
That's why I only travel by bus now. Well, that and the finances are what they used to be.
Which never happens. Also, there is not a TSA agent I have ever seen that looks like that one.
No.
Speaking of her, little shout out. The actress's name she's a favorite of mine, Josie Davis. Mencia will remember her from 90210, perhaps.
And there was something else she was in, too.
She's been in a lot, but...
What was she most notable for?
I first knew her from 90210. She helped Donna open her boutique clothing store during the college years. Or maybe right after college. She is the queen of the Lifetime movies. I have watched... you guys know from just... I tend to be up at night, especially when my baby was born. I just watch a lot of Lifetime movies.
Go on, tell us more.
And
I get shit.
Let me guess.
Actually, there's some good Lifetime movies.
There really are. But she is like the female Eric Roberts. She plays every psycho in like over half of these films
In fact,
they make.
Stalked by My Doctor is going to be a podcast movie at some point. An actual movie, not something that...
But she is in all of them. She's really good. She
Yeah.
just eats up the screen. I really like this act. I was surprised to see her in such a small little role. She's amazing. So this is a reoccurring problem.
Work is work.
Tells us chicks just can't keep their hands off him and his giant penis. Like I said, it's a real problem.
No, it's not.
I've lamented about that very issue with you guys many times.
We haven't.
No, you haven't.
It sucks. But as he's banging away at her, doggy style, in the little side room, he gets a text from Spence's mom saying, "Spencer needs your help." So he declares lightning round and just starts plowing really, really faster, so he can abort his Brazilian vacation he was about to go on, and go help Spence.
Coke is a true friend. He's
That's
there
a friend.
no matter what.
That's
Buddy.
a friend.
It's a true friend. You're absolutely right. Back in Spence's bedroom, he's jerking off again, this time to a screensaver of his ex-girlfriend, Allison.
Now that's just sad.
That is
is.
sad. There's a world of porn out there.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, really. I mean, come on. There's all kinds of things.
Broaden your horizons.
POV stuff and everything.
Young man.
Well, Coke tells us that she literally, in another voiceover, ripped Spencer's heart out, fucked it with a plunger,
Which they're showing
they
this.
show.
Yeah.
And she
Literally.
grabs his heart,
That
she
was kinda funny.
plunges it. When she left him for a guy named Kip. Now, not only is this little weasel Kip, not only did he steal his girlfriend, he was also Spencer's main MMA fighting rival.
Yeah, the day he was going to turn pro, he was supposed to fight
Kip, and Kip took his woman and his heart and his life and
Dignity.
Totally ruined his plunger.
Manhood.
totally
ruined the
his
plunger.
Which, if you're flushing that many Kleenex down the toilet, you're going to
You're
need
gonna
that.
need a good plunger.
You're going to need that plunger.
You're going to want a good plunger.
Well, Spencer blows his load into a fresh handful of tissues. Coke explains, romance is dead. Nice guys finish alone in the dark with their dick in their hand. He's cynical a little bit.
Really? Because I thought that was like some Socrates shit. Like
He should write for Hallmark at the least.
that was like Aristotle.
Well, suddenly, just like that, Coke walks into Spencer's room and
That'd
tells
be a
him to
great Hallmark card. Nice guys finish alone in the dark with their dick in their
romance
hand.
is dead. Nice guys finish alone in the dark with their dick in their hand. Happy Mother's Day. Celebrating you on your high school graduation.
I think I know what the quote's going to be this week.
This is stolen from a different movie, but roses are red, violets are blue. Go fuck yourself.
Well, he's all of a sudden he's in the room. He struts in and he tells him, "Pack up your shit, because you're going to move into my parents' brand new beach house with me for the summer. You look like Bigfoot fuck Justin Bieber, and a change of scenery is just what the doctor ordered for your scrawny ass."
He does, because he's got that Justin Bieber, like, sky-high hairdo.
He does.
He's about 115 pounds, which means the MMA stuff is total bullshit.
Well, obviously.
Flyweight division.
They've got bantamweight and things of that nature.
Well-
They're not all 200-pound monsters pounding each other in the face with gloves.
Boyce
on.
Gracie wasn't a big beast.
No, he was not. Well, Spencer explains, you know what? My mom needs me here. I can't just leave. My mom relies on me. She needs me here. To which point, Mom steps back in the room, and she's like, "Son, go get your balls back." She wants him out of there. Who wouldn't?
So basically, Coke's like channeling the dude from the Dollar Shave Club. You know, the ultra confident alpha, snarky. He's got not snarky. He's just got a little smart ass answer to everything. But
He's very confident.
He's dishing out a whole bunch of wisdom with confidence off the scale.
Can't be a smart ass without being smart.
Does it kind of remind you like the dude from up the creek, the wise old?
Yeah, it's got kind of a Tim
Guy
Matheson
kinda doing?
swag to
So
him.
he's kind of feeling the
But-
mentor role of the '80s TNA.
He is, but he also has that secret weapon in his underpants that none of these other guys have had.
That's true.
That is going to make an individual very
It is
confident.
easy to be cocky when you have a 10-inch
At the
cock.
same time, I think a running theme starting from this point in the film and going throughout it is you could have taken the character of Coke, and if he were written just a little bit differently, and I'll go ahead and give the actor Travis Van Winkle some credit, if it were performed a little bit differently, he could have been a total douchebag.
Yeah. Yeah.
But because he is so loyal to his buddy and really wants to help him out, I mean, yeah, he knows he's going to have a whole bunch of fun in the process, but that makes him not a douchebag. Yeah, he's confident, cocky, good-looking guy who knows he can't leave the house without getting laid, but he's not putting that on hold to help his friend, but he's going to go help his friend.
I think this might be where I battle you guys, and I don't know if you're with me on this or not. I think his desire to help his friend is his only redeeming. I think he is a douchebag. I didn't like the guy at all.
Well, why would he not be a douchebag at this point? All you know about him is that, well, he is good looking. Apparently his family has money, because if he's got a beach house that they're not even staying in, well, come live with me in it.
Right.
I don't think a douchebag would go out of his way to help his buddy like that.
No, that is a very redeeming quality.
But at the same time, I can see where I can see where you're like, I'm thinking douchebag, because at this point, I'm like, all right, they're setting this guy up as the Tim Mathis character, and I'm not buying it. I'm not sold on Coke. I didn't like him in the voiceover. I'm kind of okay with him now that I see his screen presence.
As Doctor would say, at this point, it is way.
I'm afraid it's far too early to tell, Tuttle.
It is.
It is. I agree.
It is.
Real quick, we're about to get in the opening credits. Who've kind of established the two guys at this point. You're about halfway already. I mean, you're blazing, and granted, we're drinking, it's hot, but real quick, I mentioned I got a little bit of dark chocolate early on. That has really intensified now, about a third through the stick for me. Earthiness, a sweetness is going with that dark chocolate, and I'm still getting the not overpowering, a medium spice.
Man, I am not catching that dark chocolate at all.
What you guys getting?
I'm actually getting more like a hint of spice.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit of spice. A very strong cedar on the retrohale. I mean, like it's practically wrapped in it for me, anyways.
There's some cedar on there. I can get that on there.
Yeah.
And I mean,
I'm only through the nose though. I'm not getting
only through the nose.
Exactly.
I'm not getting that.
If I'm just inhaling for the aroma, I mean, it's just all leather. I mean, I won't even say that it's earthy. It's just leather. I'm not
getting any leather.
Yeah.
Doctor?
It's interesting. We're all kind of seeing a little bit different things. I don't get any spice. I do get what I can see as an earthiness. I guess close enough to dark chocolate, a very faint hint of like a cocoa, maybe.
Okay.
And a little bit of a heart-covered plunger.
I can see that through the nose.
Yes, through the nose. Yeah, on the reverse hail. Yeah,
through the nose.
No, I'm not getting that chocolate at all. I do get just the hint of spice. Cody is right. The cedar on the nose or through the nose is absolutely there,
and it's nice.
There's some sweetness. I mean, it's kind of the same profile that was at the first of the cigar. For me, it's just a little bit more intensified at this point.
Yeah. It's pleasant, and I don't think at all it's contrasting with the beer. The beer's, unlike we've mentioned quite a few flavors dancing around with the cigar, the beer's pretty straightforward for me. I'm just getting
that
kind of
pine taste.
A floral up front, and then just a really hoppy back end.
Not really danky?
I'm not getting any dankiness.
I still don't
Which
know
is more
that.
reason not to mention that word.
I don't know what it means. I've got to figure it out.
It smells. It's got a little citrus on the nose.
Yeah.
No, I'm getting just a nice, pleasant up front.
I'm getting more pine than anything.
A little pine, maybe. A little floral on the front.
I've got the citrus through the nose, like you just said. I've got more of a pine taste to it. I do get that hoppiness.
And then
on the
there's
back
the
end.
hoppiness on the swallow.
Yeah, but it's not like it's not melt your face off hoppiness, but it is decent.
It's not at all. It is. It's decent so far, and it's a decent cigar so far. So I'll come back before too long here. I mentioned that we now lead into our opening credit sequence, which is set to a terrible Florida dance club. I think it was Pitbull, maybe.
Oh no, they didn't have anyone of Pitbull caliber on here.
Pitbull-esque.
Actually, I kind of like the soundtrack of this thing.
It might have sounded Pitbull-esque. They did not have Pitbull.
It was Weenie Dog, Pitbull's little cousin. Well, no, it's a sort of thumping, feel good kind of song.
There were a couple of decent songs.
I
on it.
liked it, man. There's a couple of songs in here that I
The
really
soundtrack
like.
is very fun, whether it's the score or the music they pick. Nothing gets heavy-handed. It's very light.
No, it's cool. It's
and
like
beach.
dance. It's dance party music.
Yeah, it
man.
is.
And it's available on Spotify. You can stream it.
Oh, is it really?
Yes.
Unfortunately, there is nothing on there that I am prepared to sing tonight.
Oh, okay.
It was that good.
I'm a fan of MC Weenie Dog.
I liked it.
Well, little Parmesan.
Little Parmesan.
I wasn't that big on the whole driving up the beach montage.
Well, that's how these
but
movies tend to start.
That's true. That's true.
The movies of the '80s we love. They always
Hot dog as a driving montage.
There's always
Yeah.
there's always
Up
a
the
driving
creek has a driving
montage.
montage.
Well, eventually they arrive at the beach house, and it is most impressive. This thing is right on the water, huge 2-story beach
All right,
house.
for some reason I got hung up as soon as Coke gets out of the, what was that, an Austin Healey or no?
I thought it was a Porsche.
I think. Well, I'm not gonna say it. If
It looked like
was an
Dylan
Austin.
McKay.
It
It
was
looked like
pretty-
Dylan McKay's
Clearly,
Porsche.
Coke's family has money. He was going to Brazil, cancels it at the last second.
Anyway,
Well, and
as
they
soon
got
as-
him that giant penis implant.
As soon as he gets out
Those
of
aren't
the,
cheap. I've done the numbers.
as soon as he gets out of the car, his like shirt,
Trying to sell
the back
mine.
of his shirt is drenched in sweat. But then he opens the door and his shirt's like clean.
Well, that's how rich people. They put on a new shirt the minute they go inside a house.
Well, they should have shown me that because now I'm thinking that was
one day I'll explain to you how the swells live. I've seen things.
the socias.
The socias. But as impressive as his house is, Spence is in his bedroom sleeping, taking a nap within minutes.
It's a long car ride.
It was a
Well,
long
he
car ride.
daydreams that Allison, his ex, is going down on the bed next to him on her new boyfriend, Kip. Kip's there with his arms behind his hand. Kip looks over at Spence. He's like, "Hey, man, if you would have played your cards differently, this BJ could have been yours." And that there's a head under the sheets, just going to town. Spence
Was I the only one
Spence
that?
weirdly looks under the.
Well,
What the
I'm
fuck?
watching this from the doctor's casa in the middle of the afternoon with the blinds open, and there's two young dudes with abs laying there in bed. You don't see the girl, and I'm like, man, I think there's some kids walk home from school past this way.
I thought you weren't allowed to live near schools.
Well, they walk past it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was. If you got walked in on out of context, but just like, and she's making like choking noises. Like it's.
It was a very verbal BJ.
It's pretty extreme. Well, that was due to.
Some would say it's an oral BJ.
Kip explains that the noises are because his wiener is so much bigger than.
So I know it's a little more. I
Spence's.
know it's a little more than what you're used to.
And in a few seconds, baby, you're gonna look great wearing pearls. Good grief.
Tut, wasn't the Verbal BJs the name of a band down East Austin way?
Boy, they were good, but they didn't last long.
We're here all night, folks. We're here all night.
I don't know about you guys. At this point, I don't care for this Kip guy.
No, I'm not.
Well,
like
they've
it.
just turned him into the. If you thought that Coke was kind of a douchebag, well, this guy like.
That's true. We had to make someone worse than our hero. Well, just as Kip ejaculates, Doc, I used it correctly.
Very good.
Spence is woken up by Coke dumping a bucket of cold water on him.
What the fuck?
Turns out Spence was mumbling out loud the contents of his dream. Coke says, "You got some demons, bro." So Coke tells him before ordering to get up, turn off Meg Ryan's iPod. Because he was listening to chick music.
I did think that
a lot
was
of these
funny.
references were kind of dated.
That's
Even
what-
though it was 2014, like if some kid watches this today, is he gonna know who Meg Ryan is?
See, that's the one thing that I was thinking on is that, all right, so this was made in 2013. Obviously, I think it was written by guys that were our age,
Probably.
because there's so many references that I don't think young kids would actually get.
I actually directed a romantic comedy of sorts. The Doctor was involved years ago, and I made that filmmaking choice of putting in a lot of pop culture references.
Yeah.
That when watched now, probably people would be like,
What?
At the time, though,
but
they
at the
would-
time it was
Yeah. And you're not really making something that.
no.
I don't think the people of Mantervention said, I want to write something that lasts through the decades.
Well, he says, turn off that iPad. It's making my giant dick shrivel up. And come with me. I got a plan. You see, Coke is going to educate Spence on the man formula. For those of you listening and not watching on YouTube, I just did quote fingers on the man formula.
And I have to say that normally I don't like the whole man whatever. Like man caves and man shirts and man whatever. I'm just like
man on man sex.
Well, hold on. Maybe I like some things.
I'm just like, stop shoving your definition of man down my throat.
Whoa.
Stop shoving.
Hey.
Stop shoving your manly dick in my face.
Yeah, I'm like man formula.
I am not a fan. Like, you know, I'm like in the frozen food they'll have like the man chicken pot pie and the man cave. And
I hate all that shit. But
I'm
for
gonna
some
revoke
reason,
your man
for
card.
some reason, it works here for me.
It fits the character of Coke.
It does, yeah.
Because he's a douchebag, and douchebags call stuff the man formula.
He's a douchebag, but he's got some heart.
If you came to me at your lowest of lows, yaks, and I was like, I'm going to tell you something, and I got on the board and wrote the man formula, you'd be like, get the hell out of here, you stupid ass.
Yeah, but
First,
at the
I'm
same
gonna
time,
ask, where did he get the whiteboard from?
but at the same time, you're not
that
talking
is
about
a nice whiteboard.
You're not talking about like an intervention.
How do you
I mean, you're not talking about like just like a casual meeting. You're talking about an intervention.
No,
this dude is at
a
his lowest.
Mantervention.
Oh God!
That's the name of the movie. Don't look at me like I didn't
I
make that up.
know.
I didn't make
I
it
hate
up.
it.
All right. Well, you see,
But that's the point. This is it. It
he
requires
starts
action
doing
now.
some math on the board. Coke does, and according to his questionable statistics, Spence must bang 12 and a half chicks in order to fully get over Allison. Know any midgets? He asks. That would be the half a chick.
You didn't think that was funny?
Coke, and he must bang all these chicks without ever mentioning the word love. And every time you say that four-letter word, you got to put $1 in the love jar. Yax, you had a love jar under your mattress in high school, didn't you? That was a different kind of love jar.
I thought we were never going to talk about that.
I wasn't. You're right. I was not ever supposed to mention that again.
And it wasn't dollars that went in there.
I'll give it back one of these days.
See?
Coke has a plan to keep Spence's journey interesting. For instance, on the board, on the calendar where they mark off when he screws chicks, he's cut out like from magazines, like pictures of girls' butts. And every Friday is going to be fuck a fat chick Friday. He's trying to keep it fun.
He's put a lot of thought into this.
I mean,
This
he
isn't just
really
something
did.
he
He
threw
did a whole
together in a couple of
collage.
minutes.
He really has.
He
And Spence, who's kind of a romantic and kind of feminine, actually compliments him on the whiteboard. He's like, man, you really, this is, from an arts and crafts standpoint, you really did a
He
good
put
job.
some time
here."
into
He
this.
really did.
He put in, I mean, he's got a whole, collage work, and he's got it all. He went down, he got a
It looks really
calendar.
nice. It looks really nice.
Looks like the top of Fool's Mirror and Unreliable.
It really does. It's just a bunch of cut out boobs and not enough to get him sued. But man, I know it's supposed to be crude and all, but an appeal to your primitive senses of humor.
It's the title of my autobiography. Not enough to get me sued.
Not enough to get me sued. I saw real quick. I saw a thing. Did you see on the news where Bo Duke, or was it Luke Duke?
Yeah.
Got arrested for he had a bunch of blow and he stuck his hand down a co-star's.
I think it was Daisy Dukes.
No. He was on stage at some community theater.
Oh, okay.
And he put his hand down, allegedly.
Wait, the old school Luke Duke?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tom Wopat?
Tom
Wopat.
Wopat.
He's a theater actor for years, a successful one.
Yeah.
But apparently he was rehearsing at this local community theater, and he put his hand down the back of one of his co-stars' pants, and allegedly slipped his finger in her butthole.
Allegedly.
And she freaked out, and so he got in his car and took off, and the cops pulled him over, and he had all this cocaine on him. And he's announced he's going into rehab.
I'm just saying, who hasn't done a ton of blow, stuck your hand down a co-worker's pants?
Dude, the headline,
Like, what?
I saw somebody did this
Then you
headline.
won't be totally surprised about what happens later.
I saw this headline, and it was former Dukes of Hazzard star sticks index finger in actress's butthole. That's just a little bit more than the law will allow. Things like that make me love the internet. Make me love the internet.
Good copy. Good
Just the
copy.
good old boys.
Anyway, like I was saying, I know it's supposed to be, fuck a fat chick Friday. It's supposed to be crude and all. It's going to appeal to our primitive senses of humor. But I guess we already kind of touched on this. If this Coke character is doing anything for you at this point, other than just being like, this guy's just a douchebag. Or does he make you feel grateful that, your best friend is somebody not douchey like me? You first. Well, no, just an actual authentic human being, a real badass. That's
Well, I think that's kind of the thing here, and we'll see later in the movie. But like right now, they're just trying to give you this whole thing like he's just a giant douchebag.
I don't see that. I don't see that. I see him at this point. I'm like, you know what? All right, maybe he is a friend.
Here's the thing. You know,
history
within these types of movies, you see it is that he's your buddy, and then throughout the movie, all of a sudden he's either going to screw you over, or he's going because like right now
you know what? That's a very good point. There's this guy. This movie did lend itself up. Like this guy should have screwed.
I was waiting for him to screw him over.
I was like, in most movies he would.
I was like, I already have this movie figured out. I already have this.
Well,
movie
I don't want to spoil the movie.
But like
forward,
I said, you see that in these types. I mean,
kind of waiting for it.
So
Yeah.
either there's the two paths.
Yeah.
Is he the good friend or is he going to be the?
I
false
never
friend?
got that. Not from the very beginning. I never thought at one point. I never thought that angle would come in at all.
I didn't either. But when he says that, I should have.
No, at this, I was like all into. I've got this movie figured out.
He's gonna
rich kid, big dick, got everything that God could give. He gives to this guy.
And I figured it was going to be one of those.
He's
where,
a self-centered bastard.
New kid falls in love, and then the rich guy.
It's going
to be one of those classic, summer movies where, this guy, he's had his eye on the super hot chick on the beach all his life, and then his little nerdy buddy comes in, and she goes for
kind of
him.
like Stoned Age when the chick just jumps into his friend's bed.
Kind of like speaking of Stone Age, I mean, a lot of movies they have that best friends, and one of them is the kind of wiser, kind of guides the lost. Mallrats, Jason Lee, guides. Jeremy London. He's lost. He's lost his love, but he's kind of the smart assy, dirty comic book guy. Yeah. It's just you see it a million times.
Yeah.
But this could have gone a million different ways, and it actually.
It's interesting though, because I never for 1 second thought that they were gonna go that direction.
Yeah.
Never. And I never was like, Coke is such a douchebag. I thought he is that guy, but he has a friend that he really cares. I bought into that the whole way.
You know what? I did too, and you know why? I think a lot of us do. We mentioned like the soundtrack. Everything about this movie is so uppity. Like it's got a very jokey score, and the music's very uppity. At no point does it ever take itself seriously enough to where you could even foreshadowing see a betrayal or. No, it's just a light. Yeah. It is what it is. You're seeing these guys. It's like our buddy Steve Sanders said on 920. Would somebody explain to these people I'm not deep enough for subtext? Like there's nothing going on under the surface here.
Yeah.
But you never know. Okay, well that's enough about Coke for now.
As a seasoned film critic, I'm looking under the surface. I'm waiting.
Well, we are internet film experts.
That's true.
And we're off to the beach. There's a ton of bikini girls sunbathing all over the place. Coke knows all their names, and they sure know him. He's not wearing a Speedo. He's wearing one of those Speedos that has a little bit of short leg to them, but they're tights. I mean, it's what do you call those, Yex? I know you wear one down.
It's like a
South
sport
Beach.
brief.
A sport brief.
Where it's not the Speedo. It's not your standard trunks. It's like
skin tight.
Right.
It shows what's going on.
If you have girth, you would wear one.
You still wear those when you go down to South Beach?
Yes, I do.
I respect that.
Mm-hmm. I do what I gotta do.
You don't even need that jar we talked about anymore.
I don't.
You're doing quite well for yourself.
Thank you. I like to think I am.
So I can keep it?
Yeah, you can.
I can keep the love jar. Are you rolling? When do we start?
Yeah, we're rolling.
Oh, the break's over. Coke even jumps on top of one chick sunbathing and tells her how much he misses being inside of her, to which she just giggles, oh, Coke. All these chicks giggle at him. Everywhere he walks, girls like, ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. It's that giant cock of his. It's a curse, boys. It's not all it's cracked out to be.
Young girls laugh at me everywhere I go, too, but I don't think it's quite the same.
At least you get laughed at.
Yeah.
I get.
I shouldn't wear that bikini trunk to the mall.
I agree with Tut. Laughing is better than the.
Yeah, that's just sad.
Yeah. At least I don't have a microphallus.
That's true. I do get that. Oh, it's the talker.
When they like, why's that guy walking backwards? Oh God, that's not his ass. That's his crotch.
Now this is what I was going to say. Like this is like the first time where this movie is referencing so many.
See, I didn't get that. I didn't get that it was paying homage to any of the classic beach titty flicks.
Well, it's not that it's paying homage to beach titty flicks. It's just picking in things out because like this is the first time when I'm really looking and like Spencer. If you really look at him, like the disheveled hair and everything else, they're really giving him this whole like Kevin Bacon Footloose feel.
Oh, he does have a Kevin Bacon kind of crazy.
Because I sat there for like half this movie going, who the hell are they trying to make him look like? Because he kept reminding me of somebody. Yeah. And I finally figured out.
I don't know if it was intentional, but he does now that I look at him. He does have a very Kevin Bacon esque look to him. Sure.
And so I was like, I mean, because he just looked real. I was like, the whole time, like, man.
I wouldn't have got that unless he took Coke's Porsche to a warehouse and just danced around by himself in the shadows for a while.
Oh, God, I wish that happened.
Would have been great.
Way to blow it, Mantervention. Well, Coke instructs Spence that out here under the bright sun is where we come to scope out the women so we know exactly who we're going to hunt down later that night.
Not that there really needs to be too much differentiation.
I was
They're
about to
all
say, they're
unbelievably
all
hot.
There's not there's not one of us out there. You don't see me with the kids and the doctor waking up with a newspaper for a blanket. No, it's all beautiful.
In my defense, it would be the Wall Street Journal.
Last week's
New England Journal of Medicine.
There wasn't even that single, like one guy who just sits in the chair eating a can of beans type thing. It's
only beautiful people on this beach. Correct.
That is true.
Well, suddenly Coke's wisdom is cut super short as Spence pulls off his T-shirt, and instantly the giggling turns to laughing and mocking from all the girls as they start pointing at him in terror.
That's what I was talking about. That's more my scene.
Well, it turns out Spence hasn't.
Definitely my scene.
Turns out Spence hasn't manscaped in a while, and he has a dick beard growing from his mid-abdomen down to his crotch. This huge.
They really try to sell this joke, and he's got like some 70s
They
bush.
clearly went to Joann's Fabrics, got some like bear, like for a bear rug,
and just glued it.
And just glued it to his.
I was like,
It looked
considering
like
that he has
something that Will
zero
Ferrell
hair
would
on the
wear.
rest of his body, it'd be different if like he had some
he's
sweet,
completely hairless.
Yeah.
except for apparently his crotch.
He's like a
which
chihuahua.
is the thickest. It's
Nobody's seen a. I used to call mine the highway to heaven. I'm sorry, the hairway to heaven. I never called it that. As far as you know. Before anyone else can see the dick beard, the hairy nightmare growing in his stomach, Coke whistles to a nearby lifeguard, gives him the dick beard signal, to which the lifeguard pulls out his megaphone, Shark in the water!
which I
Shark
think like
attack!
this is the worst thing ever. Like, oh my god, my friend has a hairy crotch. Create mass panic.
Well, it works. Everyone starts running, bumping into each other, screaming. Everyone forgets about the dick beard and starts trying to run.
Which is
away
highly
from
irrational because nobody's in the water. When he says shark, they're all on the beach. They all start running around in panic.
They're running around, and then people start running into the water. It just.
It makes no sense. Imagine that in a movie called Mantervention.
I was waiting for some character to run by dressed like Robert Shaw from Jaws. I'll get him.
Well, the beach is pure chaos. People are shoving
I'll
each
catch
other.
the dick beard for 3, but I'll kill it for 10.
I'll shave it for 50. Everyone's screaming. Underneath all the chaos, Coke shuffles Spence up to the lifeguard tower, where
Who just happens to have the emergency clippers.
he hands him a pair of electric clippers and orders him, shave that Richard Simmons perm off your junk.
I'm sorry, I laughed.
I'm learning a lot about,
It was funny.
the guy who hates everything is liking all this stuff.
I'm liking everything.
And don't forget to shave all the way to the base, he commands.
Is that-
It adds length, and you need it.
Please tell me that this kid, the lifeguard, is somebody related to Matt Damon.
You texted
He
me
really
that.
did look like
He looked like him.
I looked him up. I don't think there's a...
I think he wishes that were true.
He looked like the Matt Damon's younger brother.
Matt Lehman.
Never say that again.
Did you guys catch the last part of what I said there? He tells him, don't be afraid, go down all the way to the base, because when you're completely shaved, it adds length, and you need it. Tut style. He actually said tut style.
This coming from the
Mean.
monster cock guy.
That is assault.
That
What?
is assault.
Why would he care about adding length? He's basically swinging a baseball bat around.
Well, no, he's his best friend. He wants him to
See?
be at his best.
It's a well-known thing that if you shave to the base, you add length.
I have heard that some from friends as that do that. That's the bit. Yeah. Note to
And as
self.
far as Cade knows, I have never referred to what he calls the hairway to heaven as the trail to the county jail. Perhaps I have said too much. Gotta hydrate.
Didn't you used to play that song when you were on the Travis Tritt tour? Gravelly Road to the County Jail?
Yes, I think so.
Never knew that's what that was about. Doctor? Once his pubes are shorn... God, what am I doing with my life? Spence is taken by...
Get on with it. It's too late for law school.
Dude, other fathers are up till 1 in the
Feeling
morning.
sorry for yourself.
Dude, other fathers are up till 1 in the morning in the kitchen, like doing their taxes for their business and like crunching numbers. Once his pubes are shorn, which they had to go to the base to give it extra.
Fuck those guys and their tax returns.
Dude, I'm doing equations in my kitchen on the whiteboard. Here's the shaft. All right, if he shaves here, what are you doing? Nothing. Shut up. Taxes. Taxing my soul every episode.
Why are there dicks drawn all over your tax return? Don't worry about it.
Very bad. I have a beer podcast. Oh, gotcha.
That answers and solves so many problems.
Once his pubes are shorn, Spence is taken by Coke to a super trendy nightclub called Club Transient. Not transient, trans-ient. This place is where he tells Spence, this place is where we meet the babes, and then we take them home to fillet them. Which, that kind of stuff is, like, to me, the biggest douchebag, like, smashing chicks and filleting
I have to confess,
chicks.
I watched the film twice
Yeah.
and never caught the name of the club.
I only caught it because on the DJ booth, it's written in the front. Club
It
Transient.
is.
There are rumors that I am occasionally given to strong drink, and occasionally detail escapes me. Rumors.
I honestly
see it. I didn't see it either.
Mostly unjustifiable.
I honestly didn't catch it till the 7th viewing. What am I doing with my life?
Taxes.
I just, man, that we find him here and we take him home and fillet him.
Yeah, that was.
And we smash their badges. Like, that kind of
That's
stuff.
kinda-
Well, that's my point. They're trying to make him into the...
But he's supposed to be
You
one
fillet
of our
fish.
main protagonists. We're supposed to somewhat like this guy.
And they give you reason
I
later.
did.
Not yet.
like Coke.
all,
Now you're supposed to be
all
thinking...
he's got going for him is he's helping his friend. Everything else about the guy is repugnant. And I hang around with you guys.
I was about to say, and I hang around with you.
I know repugnancy.
I was going to say I hang... Wait.
Did I say it out loud?
Yes, you did.
I can see why I've never had a Mantervention in some 20 years.
We've held several interventions for you.
You've ignored all
Not
of
those
them.
kinds.
Oh.
I'm not interested in those.
Sorry.
I show up to those like Dylan McKay. You lied to me. It's an ambush.
Speaking of, I am watching Riverdale, and it's good. Watch it.
Looking at you, Joker, sobriety's overrated.
Well, it's nice to see you back to the land of the living. This is living. It's overrated.
All right, well, enough about Coke. Again, he just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. He says,
the character.
He says, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get bartending jobs, and that's going to help us in our female conquests. But first, Spence has to convince the bar owner, Steve, played by one Mario Van Peebles, in drag for some reason,
Mario, oh my God!
that he can keep up. They got to convince Steve that Spence can keep up with the big crowds at the bar. It's a huge club.
And won't bring his drama in there.
So now we
'Cause
see...
Steve clearly has enough of it in his own
Well,
life.
now we see Steve, who's Mario Van Peebles, a pretty established actor, last 20 years,
Yeah.
dressed up in drag.
Ah, come on, there's only one thing you know him from. Jake, we're starting to shock, man.
No.
Jaws 4 is by far his
Heartbreak Hill?
Heartbreak Ridge.
Why you want to go
Heartbreak
play
Ridge?
around with the stairs, man? All right.
I love when Tut uses evidence to like show how stupid we are, but then he says the name of the movie wrong. Heartbreak Mountaintop? Heartbreak Ridge. He directed New Jack City.
Yeah.
And starred in New Jack City.
Yeah.
One of favorite of mine. But no, he was kind of a... What was that movie? He was a cyborg?
Cyborg 6.
Or... Was it Cyborg?
Well, his,
No.
all right,
Von Damme was Cyborg.
his dad,
Von Damme
Melvin, is the black exploitation legend.
Badass, Sweetback's badass song. He also directed. Mario did a documentary, kind of mockumentary, the making of Sweetback's.
Oh,
badass
and
song.
for all the white nationalists out there, he has directed some of Nashville episodes.
Oh, I bet they hate that.
Nashville producers like, damn it, there go our ratings.
He did one movie back when I worked at the movie theater in high school where he was like a soldier. Not soldier, that was Kurt Russell.
It was in a Western movie, Posse.
He was in Posse.
Posse. That was a great one.
Posse,
Yeah. Was he in Judgment Night with Emilio Estevez and those guys?
No, I don't
That
think
was,
so. No.
God, what was the guy? He had dreads, though. No, that was Ice-T.
Or was it Ice-T?
That was...
You're smoking the Fratello Bianco. They're all the same to you. Okay. Hey, whoa.
God, what was that movie?
I'm sorry. When I saw Marvin Peoples,
Did you know who it was immediately?
Immediately
Yeah,
knew
he's got-
who
he's got
that
a very-
He
was.
did that werewolf movie. God, what was that? It was with
Dick Beard.
Dick Beard.
Oh man, no! I was like, oh my! I actually texted you. I was like, Mario, oh my God!
Yeah, you know what? I didn't get that text reference until I was like, what's he talking about, Mario? Well, he looks at him and drags Spence, and he says, I can't have no slow-ass Applebee motherfuckers bartending up in here. Slam on Applebee's.
Hey, you still want Applebee's like every two days?
I do. Coke assures Steve Spence can handle himself behind the bar, and Steve gives in. He even tells Spence if he plays his cards right, you'll get more pussy than a pet shop. He's got a lot of little zingers, Steve does. Then Steve, Mario Van Peebles, starts filleting his beer bottle in front of the guys, which Coke's like, hey, Steve, you just met him. Can you cut out with the queer shit? To which Steve angrily barks at him, I ain't no motherfucking queer. Just because I like sticking my doodle into a little noodle now and again until they can't ride a bike no more, don't make me a queer. You guys ever stick your doodle in a noodle?
I'm not even sure what that means.
But oddly, he's not a queer, but he still has to see Spence's booty cheeks before he leaves.
Well,
let me see your booty cheeks.
I mean, if the guy had a flat ass, maybe he's not going to attract the kind of clientele they want there.
That's right.
Let's see some cheeks.
He's an entrepreneur, man.
Got a business to run here.
Exactly.
And you guys can be honest. I've said that to y'all many times before we started the podcast.
And since we're all sitting down, I've never understood why, but I still let you examine the goods.
Like, all right, if we're going to do this podcast thing, we're going to do it, but I'm still going to need to see y'all's booty cheeks.
What have I done with my life?
Did you find the name of that Cyborg movie?
Solo.
Solo. God, it was terrible.
all that time to find.
All that just to slam on it.
Speaking of Solo, I was the only one in the theater.
Good Lord.
But oddly, after he has to see their booty cheeks, and he swears he's not queer, he looks at the boys and he says, "You know what? You're gonna want to use my nutsack for a mustache when you get a taste of my party life." Steve warns them as their friends nervously kind of back out of the room. Doctor, have you ever worn a nutsack for a mustache?
No, but I did actually have someone inquire as to whether or not that was possible through means of plastic surgery.
Is it?
Yes.
I would say that it is far... No, you can't do that. No.
No, I would say you can.
Interesting. You can.
I would say so.
Oh, temporary. It's a temporary mustache. Okay.
Give me a fillet knife, a needle, and a thread, and it's go time.
Yax, do you have any experience with nutsack mustaches?
No.
Oh, and you
Nor
know
do
what?
I
That's
ever
where it
want
comes
to.
from. My article is in the Nutsack Journal of Medicine, not the New England Journal of Medicine. So this is coming up.
That's online only, correct? They don't print that
Yes,
one
no,
out.
that's correct. That is not a legitimate publication.
It's not an actual journal.
No. We call it a journal.
But it's big in the village of Nutsacky. Yeah,
I don't know what that means, nor do I ever want to.
The village of Nutsacky?
So they got their bartending jobs, boys.
Yeah!
Hey, let's go to the cigar. I'm down the last third. You're about halfway through, Yak Boy. Mincy, your last third. Your last third with me, Tut. Anything new? Where you at?
No, it's the same profile. It's the exact same profile. You got some earthiness, you got some sweetness. The sweetness is backsided a little bit. It's giving a little bit more to the strength. You get a bit of a little Yax's leather there. Still get Still get the cedar on the retrohale. Yeah, but it's not really changing much at all.
Agreed. Consistent throughout.
It is consistent. Nothing wrong with that, certainly. I like it.
It is good.
I would like to hydrate some more.
You got it. It's keeping its own with a pretty hoppy beer.
I will say that I think the strength and the full flavorness of it, not necessarily strength. I mean, this isn't like a
Thank you, sir.
oh my god, I'm nicotine hiccuping over here. There's not a lot of nicotine that I'm really tasting that much, but you're still getting a lot of flavor, and it, like you said, it is holding up to that IPA quite nicely.
Yeah, it's got a nice profile. The earthiness, the spice, that dark chocolate that I would mention, the first 2/3 is gone now. It's really earthiness and spice now. Medium to a little over medium full. But I'm enjoying it. It's nothing.
Would you agree with Todd and myself that it hasn't changed really?
No, there's not a lot of some things I had earlier aren't there anymore.
I don't mean that in a bad way.
No, not at all. But now it's pretty much earthiness, the spice, the cedar, which Yak Boy caught on the Retro Hail first. That's still there.
Yeah,
it's a nice smoke.
Yeah.
I'm almost done. I like it. I can see. I think this beer works really good on a hot night. I would be interested in trying this. Thank you. I'd be interested in trying this with maybe
Some bourbon,
a couple of months from now as we get into the fall season, get some weather changing.
and it's down to like 100 degrees.
Get down to about a cool 94 during the afternoon.
Oh, yes.
Then maybe it might go good. Definitely with some bourbon. Maybe even a darker beer.
I went with this. I had the other option of going with the original Fratello. They have offered a Connecticut and I believe another one. This has been in my humidor. A little history. We were gifted these by Cats when before the podcast started. Tuttle and I were made Cats members of the month. Cats,
Oh, wow.
Cats Facebook group,
Yeah.
and we were just starting the podcast up or thinking about it. So rather than selfishly smoke them all myself like Tut did,
Nice shot.
I put them aside like we might need.
totally did.
I put them aside. I was like, we might need stogies someday, and I always wanted to get to them, and with seemed like a good time, and I wanted to. I like it. It's good. Now this size, from what I could tell, is an event exclusive that we were sent.
Yeah.
There's a 5 by 56 Robusto.
Robusto.
So same length, a little bit bigger girth.
So this has been in the humidor then for a while. A couple of years at least.
At least a year and a half.
Oh no, we were.
Like 3-4 years, I'm thinking.
Is that?
That was before.
Oh, it was before podcast, so that's 2.5 years ago.
I think about 3 years ago.
Yeah. Oh shit.
It was
What have I
after,
been doing in
our
my
first
life?
Cats Fest when we did our interviews, and we've done it 2 more rounds since then. So almost 3 years. So
that caused Todd to realize, what am I doing with my life?
Get him out of the funk.
Get up.
Give him the adrenaline shot. Put your nutsack on his mustache. So yeah, these have been in my humidor for quite a while. I'm guessing from the price of the Robusto, Fratello has blown up. They're really successful at this point. They were fairly new, and these haven't. He's doing very well for himself. I'm guessing around the $8 if you were to put a price on it, about $8. Ish. I don't know. Maybe less because it's a little bit less ring gauge than the Robusto, but it's a little more exclusive size. But yeah, I would put it right around $7.50, $8. I enjoyed it. It kept up with the beer and had a good flavor.
I did.
Not complex by any means, but tasty. I thought it was good.
I'd pay $7 or $8 for a quality cigar anytime.
Construction was pretty spot on. I did have to relight a few times, but that might have been me running my.
I did after our first break, but that was just
running my
'cause
jaws.
We did the break.
But I'll give it a. I'll definitely smoke. I've smoked quite a few of the original Fratellos, and I actually smoked their Stogies out of Houston, Lancero exclusive.
Yeah.
Last week, just to kind of remind myself of the Habana wrap blend. The Habano wrapper.
I just remembered that Marv Albert's old buddy was Mike Fratello, the czar of the telestrator.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Yeah. I'm not going to say rush and kick down the door of your local BM and buy them all up, but
All right, thumbs up. Don't you think that's enough Wopat bashing for tonight?
he's getting help. He's getting the help he needs.
The help he needs.
And you know what? And the beer is, once again, we say it every week. The more I drink it, the more I like it. It's a refreshing IPA. It does go down good on a hot night.
Yeah,
I think it's a little bit of a false advertising saying it's 100 plus. I was expecting a tongue burner.
Yeah,
You know
I
what?
don't-
That kind of does rub me the wrong way.
I don't see why they did that. I really don't.
I mean, unless they're
I
just trying to like garner attention from all the.
But that's wrong attention. Like, we're going to melt your face off. And then you get a
Exactly.
couple IPA guys like you and myself, and they're like, come on, dude.
And why do you need to? I really don't see that. Austin has got such a cool
unless
little.
they've lowered the bar for what considers a tongue burner for an
Yeah.
IPA.
Yeah.
Maybe they have.
Maybe, as we talked about last episode, everybody's moving over to sours. You have the stockpile of IPAs in your thing. You got to sell it. You got to make something.
Yeah.
Maybe they're in cahoots with those guys over at the Secret Cider Society.
Probably targeting all those people that work out at the bouldering gym.
Wait a second. This is cider that they've converted into an IPA.
We don't
That's
know.
why it's so fruity.
We don't know how deep this goes.
Is that where, like, the egg people from The Simpsons, we're going to see a little boulder with 2 feet outside running away? Is that it, Tut? You're in cahoots with the boulder people, too?
The Boulder Council got to you guys.
They got to you, too?
So there's kidnapping homeless people, hopping them up on cider, sending them into the Boulder Gym.
913.
Well, it's certainly not the IPA that was advertised. Thanks, Trump. But it's tasty.
Yeah, it is. I don't
Are
understand
you
why
saying
they
that's
had
fake
to,
news?
That 100%, that 100 IBU is fake news.
Fake
Yeah,
news.
I don't understand why they did it.
Tweet him, ask him, why'd you lie to us?
Not exactly.
Why'd you lie to us? Why'd you lie to us?
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Well, maybe we'll go over to the Boulder factory and ask some questions.
I'm totally not going to do that.
Little guy in skinny jeans and a beard, you don't want to ask these questions. No, I really do.
I really do. And we're all actually quite larger than you are. Take that to your bouldering gym.
Can we stick around if a cool food truck comes around?
Oh,
I would say why not?
locally sourced Korean tacos?
Oh, yeah.
You just ruined it.
Yeah.
You just ruined it.
Damn it.
100 IBU Peruvian nachos.
Yeah.
Those are for the cider people. God damn it. All right. A good IPA, misadvertised.
It is.
We got issues with that. A straightforward cigar with some nice flavor.
Good.
Hey.
Good time.
Good time on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's what it comes down to. Just, hey, good time.
Yeah.
Well, they have remember, they just got the bartending job. So we cut to later that night as our two horny heroes are behind the bar and the club is thumping. Tut loves this music.
I love it.
And what kind of club is this? There are naked chicks with Bengal tiger paint on them
Oh,
dancing on the bars?
The body paint.
Mario
chick
Van
was
Peebles
awesome.
is walking around in drag, kissing everybody.
Mario Van Peebles is up on the DJ booth just jumping
That's
his
where I
ass
saw
off.
Club Transient.
At no point do you think that it's unrealistic that a couple of decent-looking dudes working the bar, they would totally get laid in this place.
Absolutely.
Good point. Spence is freaking out because he's never bartended before. He doesn't know how to make any drink, let alone what these girls are going to be wanting. But Coke tells him, just make every chick a Bay Breeze. That's coconut rum, pineapple juice, and cranberry juice. No matter what they ask for, just make them a Bay Breeze and you'll be fine.
He also says...
They'll never know. Chicks don't know.
More in the friend vein, he says, I'll make the drinks. He tells them, you don't worry
does
about
he?
that. Yeah, he says, you don't worry about that.
But
That's not what you're here for. I'll make the drinks.
I had this question moment when I'm watching this, and I'm like, why?
How many hours did the chick spend doing her Bengali tiger body paint?
Yeah, that's actually pretty complicated. I mean, that was like that took some time. But why does Coke need to do anything? He seems to know like everything on how to pick up chicks, but yet he's also like, it takes me nothing.
Because, Yax,
He's a
he's
friend.
helping
He's a
Spencer.
friend. He's a friend.
He's
He's
not a
mentoring.
douchebag. He's helping Spencer.
He's McConnell lawing the dude.
Yeah, but I
Huh?
mean, he's like gone out of his
McDougal's
way to
Law
like
from
learn
Cocktail.
everything. My buddy's in trouble.
Coughlin.
Coughlin's Law.
That was good.
I've never bartended,
McDougal?
Fuck.
but I've studied every
Irish, they're all the same to
bartending book
you.
in the last 5 minutes. I'll take all this work and pick my buddy up. But he's like he's like the MacGyver of picking up chicks. He knows how to do everything.
I missed him saying that he would do all the work, and he doesn't because.
Yeah, he says, he goes, you're not here to make drinks.
But he and sure enough, Spence is immediately making Bay Breezes out the ass. It's a busy club.
And having hot babes come up and kiss him on the mouth.
Well, guess what? He says chicks won't know the difference, and sure enough, a few minutes in, They're making drinks, and these chicks do not. They're all getting Bay Breezes, and it is working.
Vodka tonic, Bay Breeze.
After a few minutes, Spence is doing fine.
Cranberry vodka, Bay Breeze.
Chicks are kissing
Steel
him.
Reserve, Bay Breeze.
I'm there. This isn't a Steel Reserve.
This is a Steel Reserve.
Look, I didn't suck Steve's dick to get a Bay Breeze.
You didn't have to suck a dick to get a Steel Reserve. You could have gone to the Sefco. They're $1.79.
Do you have money for cover charge? Because I don't.
I don't.
For our listeners, that was Tut that said that.
That was totally not me.
Oh yeah, we're on YouTube. I can't do that anymore. Well, they're rocking. Chicks are pulling Spence over the bar and kissing him. They're giving him their phone numbers. This Mantervention is working, baby. It's working.
Fantastic.
In fact, the hottest piece of ass at the club comes up and asks Coke for a sex on the beach. Coke shows what a good friend he is again, and sends her down to get her order filled by Spencer instead.
So any thought that you had that he was there to cockblock his buddy, this fucking gorgeous
and
chick
this
comes
is the
up.
first time you actually see it. Coke looks longingly down at Spencer and the hot girl like,
This is what I do for my friends.
Yeah, he wants her, but he gives it up. He's like, you know what, my buddy Spence, sex on the beach is his specialty. Why don't you go ask him?
Granted, the second hottest chick in that bar is not such a step down from that one, so it's not like he's really sacrificing. He's not jumping on the grenade.
It's like hot chicks galore and Steve. Well, when Spencer invites her to the after party, Coke explains, I've been trying to hit on this chick for weeks. She doesn't want anything to do with me. She saw you and was immediately interested. You did it, buddy. You trumped me. He's a good friend.
Trying to build up the confidence.
Trying to build up the confidence, one nutsack mustache at a time. That's friendship, I guess.
Wish you would do that for us.
You want a nutsack mustache?
No.
There was hesitation there.
The night is young. The night is young.
Thanks, friends and allies. Finally, the club closes down for the night, and we find ourselves at the legendary after party that everybody's been talking about at Coke's Beach House. Everybody's dancing, chicks are making out with each other. Reminded me of my apartment back in college.
well, I just want to wonder who set up all of the string lights and put up the DJ booth.
Coke
and
paid somebody to do that. He's got money.
But still, that's like, once again,
He paid the.
I'm guessing Rolando did
He
that.
paid the guzzlers to do that. I'll let you guys hang here if you
The
put up,
guzzlers, yeah.
put up some lights.
You guys can sit on the roof and jerk off if you promise to put up the
you
light.
sit out back, you sit on the other side of that beach dune, drink your schnapster.
Alcohol. Who are those guys over there doing those nutsack mustaches? Those are the guzzlers. They put up my Christmas lights, and I let them hang out.
So as long as they stay 100 yards away, I let them have their circle jerk over there.
I disagree. I think that Coke is the kind of person that he would actually start trying to pontificate his wisdom to the guzzlers.
So now, not only is he not a douchebag, you think he's like Jesus of talking to the plebes about how to get laid.
I'm not going to say he's Jesus.
I don't have a problem with
Come
the fact.
unto me, my disciples.
I don't have a problem with the fact if he paid somebody to come over there while they were working to put all that up, he's still going the extra effort.
He is, and it works towards his character.
I'm liking Coke.
I'm seeing things from him that are telling me that despite him filleting chicks and smashing badges, he does have Spence's true best interest at heart, which this movie needs at this point.
I've often told I've had a handful of friends that were just assholes, and people would be like,
Hey, we're sitting right
and people
here.
would be like, why are you friends with that person? He's an asshole. And I'm like, yeah, but I know that going into it, and the guy's always been
Just
100%
give the doctor
for
some
it.
time. He'll grow on
My
you.
ears are literally about to burst into flames.
Well, it's true. I mean,
I don't know if I'm an asshole. It can be a bit abrasive, perhaps, if I'm drunk.
So
Which
all the time.
happens occasionally. Well, Spence is at the after party, and he looks across the living room where all the people are, and he sees his ex Allison walking towards him in slow motion. But when she reaches him, it turns out it's not Allison. It morphs into the Sex on the Beach girl from the club earlier.
yeah.
Every time he sees a hot chick approaching him at the club, it looks like Allison at first.
Right.
He sees her everywhere
'Cause he's still
he still
heartbroken.
loves her. Sex on the Beach girl asks him to take her to his bedroom, where she immediately peels off her dress and starts meowing like a cat for some reason, before pouncing on top of him. God, she's something, huh? Her body is just incredible.
Wow. There's a lot of that in this movie.
That's not even in my notes. I was just, I was thinking about that scene in my head. I'm like, oh wow, yeah, that was.
This is the beach world where everybody's beautiful.
You know when they
As
talk
soon as
about
she starts
bouncing a
meowing,
quarter
I'd be
off a
like-
girl's, you can bounce a quarter off her ass.
This is that ass.
This is that ass.
This is that ass. This is that abdomen. This is that. Oh,
Yeah, everything was pretty well put together.
there wasn't a blemish on it.
No, there wasn't. Well, except she kept meowing like a cat.
I don't care.
I
If
think
you
she
look
was
like
kind of
that-
special.
If you look like that, you can meow.
well, you like cats. This you probably were like in. Did you have a box of Kleenex next to you during this scene?
No.
Oh, okay. Dude, Tut's wife comes in. I'm going to get you a decongestant. No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Here's some more orange juice.
Well, she's meowing, and then she straddles him, and well, that's where we cut. But we do see that Coke is really super stoked.
And I'm not sure why they did the whole choice of the meow thing, to be honest.
Oh, there's a lot of that in this movie. I
Who
don't
the
know
fuck
why.
cares?
No, every sex scene has something weird like that about it.
Yeah.
But you do see Coke look at the bedroom when they go in there, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Yes, my buddy's getting laid by the hottest chick on the beach." Like, fuck yeah! So you know that's good.
It's like our Boot of Remembrance video. You know, one of us chugs, everybody's cheering him on. Yeah, do it.
Yeah, and I tried to recreate that one night, and he gave me like 2 yeahs, and you're like, "That's it, cut them off." Thought I forgot about that, didn't I?
I wasn't here for that occasion.
No, you weren't. You would have cheered me on.
Damn right I would have.
I might chug one later. You in?
Dude, bring on the boot.
The next morning, a smiling Spence asks the cat girl if they should. They're laying in bed, and he wakes up. You know, he's all spent from lovemaking. So, should we exchange personal information, address, and phone numbers? We're going to be obviously in a relationship now. And she just looks at him and laughs, gives him a kiss, meow, gives him a little meow, and leaves. I'm not kidding. The whole time they're doing it, she's like meow, 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 meow. It's crazy.
weird.
It's really weird. She was crazy, right?
I guess you guys have only been with normal women.
Oh, no. You don't survive the Travis Trent tour without a meow or two.
I don't want to know about what Trent does behind closed doors.
I remember you told me you hooked up with a frog girl on that tour. Ribbit. Ribbit.
It wasn't
Ribbit,
on
ribbit.
that. It wasn't on that
If you could
tour.
just stop.
That could be a bit distracting.
Ribbit, ribbit. If you could just stop doing the ribbit. You did her froggy style, I believe.
That's why I didn't care about all the ribbits.
Clearly no one here has ever made love to a woman who was pretending to have mad cow disease.
I read your autobiography. She wasn't pretending.
The scene?
All right. So at breakfast, then later she leaves. A jubilant Coke congratulates Spence on his Mantervention officially beginning. He got his first mark. He marks 2 big X's on the calendar, one for each of them. They both got laid. They both filleted.
They both filleted.
But did you pick up on the fact, what I thought was that Spence had gone and cooked this big old breakfast, thinking him and the chick were going to sit down to it together?
Yeah.
Because then Coke made like a comment, and he's like, no, it's for
No,
us.
what is this? Yeah.
Like, he thought they would sit down and have some breakfast
Correct.
together, talk about
No,
their
no, no.
feelings
Yeah,
and all
no,
that
no, no.
shit.
Breakfast is for
Yeah.
men afterwards. The chicks need to leave. But Coke tells Spence, he can tell Spence isn't used to this, and he diagnoses him with POD, post-orgasmic disorder. Or, I'm sorry, post-orgasmic depression.
It's a real thing.
But he asks him, hey, look, Spence, think about it, man. What's more fun,
It
plowing?
is a real thing.
It's a real thing.
Well,
medical
not
condition.
I'm not used to suffering it, but my other.
What's more fun, he asks him, plowing through some grade A vag, or staying at home building Kleenex pyramids with your mommy? And Spence is like,
well, when you put it
I
that way,
can't really argue with that. Who doesn't like grade A vag? Ugh.
even if she does meow.
Yeah, you know what? That takes it. I don't know. Does that reduce?
No, it doesn't. Not that.
Not that. Not her.
She can meow all she freaking wants to.
She can moo like a cow.
It would be
Mad cow disease.
It would be an interesting story.
Did the mad
but
cow disease chick moo?
What are She didn't bark like a dog. Yeah, she mooed. Very sickly, like one with mad cow disease.
Interesting.
This might be some sort of dream that I had. Well, anyway, go ahead.
I can't remember a time where I ever referred to vag in a conversation.
No.
Not that we discuss sexual stuff a lot amongst ourselves, but I would never like.
No, I don't think I've ever said that before either.
No. When degenerates like us don't talk about it, it's really red flag that like that's pretty harsh. Anywho, Coke tells Spence that in order to keep plowing chicks, despite the whispering objections of your moral compass, you got to picture Allison, your ex. You got to picture her do what she's doing out there and who she's doing it with. Anytime you hesitate, picture her screwing Kip, and then you can plow through
Motivation.
You can plow through it. Unleash the primal beast, if you will. And speaking of which, Coke checks off 2 more X's on the calendar as they're talking, as another naked chick stumbles out of the bedroom. She's even hotter than the meow chick. She walks to the front door, see you later, and then she like falls down the stairs.
She's also butt naked.
She's completely naked.
No, she has a bra on, but no.
No,
pants.
she doesn't. She's naked.
Well, she covers the top. But her body is still like a...
I didn't even see that. I just saw that ass walking out the door. She
had a great ass.
She had a great ass.
It was... But she falls down the stairs.
What
and
I love is that
even Spence laughs like, she's drunk.
Well, he doesn't just laugh. He's like, you see that?
Because you just see her hand in the air like,
I'm okay, guys.
I'm okay. Do you remember where I parked?
Thanks for checking on me.
They just leave her out there in the parking lot.
It's like that summer I worked at the shoe department in the mall. It's not at all like that.
I'm not sure if that girl that we just talked about, that ass, I'm not sure if she is Tipsy Girl that's listed in the credits. In the credits, there is a girl listed as Tipsy Girl, and a blonde. It could be her. And the actress's name is Megan Albertus. So you know I'm in love. She's named after my favorite font.
Oh, font.
You guys know I love the Albertus font.
Font with a T.
What other kind of font is there?
I didn't hear the T, so I thought you said my favorite fawn.
Now, if only there had been
That's creepy.
Like little,
if only there had been
little deer.
That's creepy.
If only there had been a crystal colibri in there, I would have just been head over heels.
Josie Helvetica stars in
Cynthia Copperplate.
No, much like my coffee mug story, my Megan Albertus, which she was really in the IMDb, Megan Albertus. I just thought they'd get a bigger laugh.
Did you notice in the end credits that there were so many where you're like, well, that could have been anybody. It was like Hottie on the Beach.
No, it was
God,
like-
there's 27 of them.
Drunk whore number 13.
Can you imagine explaining that one at the Christmas dinner? Oh, you're an actress? You've been out to Hollywood? Yeah, what were you in? I was drunk whore number 13.
I played drunk whore number 5, 8, and 13.
Were you the one with the nutsack mustache? That was me.
That was me. That was
me, Grandma.
Real nutsack.
That's me. That was a prosthetic mustache, Grandma.
Merry Christmas.
Man, 30 minutes into the film, there's some sexy babes in this thing.
Yes, there are.
All over the place.
And a lot of side boob. We haven't seen a lot of 80s style full frontal.
We saw
but, we saw
barely on the beach scene when they're
one girl
shark
turned
attacking.
over,
Yeah,
like, oh no, and she's...
that's it.
But for modern day TNA flicks, there's something. A lot of these flicks don't give you anything.
Yeah,
This was not necessarily, and this one hasn't like what we normally look for, just the random for no reason.
right.
Correct.
These are like trying to like, oh, there's a reason why
It was
this-
all contextual.
Correct. Purposeful boobs.
and we want just
Random.
non-purposeful.
Yeah, we just
boobs.
want random abstract boob
You know,
shots.
They're walking down the street, naked chick.
Correct. But we'll get
I like
we'll
it.
get
I
a little
like
more later.
contextual.
Well, now we cut to the MMA studio where Coke brings Spence to get the rust off his competitive boxing skills. Remember, that was a big part of his life before Allison made him quit.
He was a, quote, decent MMA fighter.
He was a decent MMA fighter. Kind of like when Gary asked you to stop singing opera, Tut, and you gave it up because, you want to make Gary happy.
Who's Gary?
I think like your love jar, that was something I wasn't supposed to talk about on the show.
Yeah.
Forget about Gary. We can edit.
Who?
We can edit that out. I know you never forgave Gary for that. Well, Spence's martial arts coach is there,
What?
and he's pissed that Spence never showed up for his big match against Kip. You deserted us. There's a bunch of talk here about knocking sweat off each other's balls, getting Spence's balls unstuck out of his vagina, some more ball talk, and then the guys jump in the ring where Coach proceeds to knock the fuck out of Spence with the first couple of punches. While he's down, he hears Allison and the new boy toy Kip, their voices in his head. This could have been your BJ. She's going to get a good pearl necklace. And it fires him up to where he pops up and he puts up a little bit of a fight with the Coach.
Other guy hears soundtrack by Survivor. He hears about BJ's from his ex.
Mission accomplished, though. Spence took it, or Coke took him there to get his fighting spirit back.
He's back in. He's ready to fight.
He's ready to fight. Well, we joined Spence.
I don't know if there's a 5'10", 120-pound MMA class.
Dude, that's one thing the coach. That's one thing the coach said to him. He smacked him on his 120-pound frame. You've got the power.
No, wait, what?
I'm like, what? He's got like toothpick arms.
You're a
Like
240-pound muscled coach.
The other dude
You've
looks
got
like-
what it takes.
The other dude looks
You
like
can
an
take
MMA
me in the
fighter.
ring.
Right.
He is the best. There's no doubt.
There probably is a weight
Nobody
class
ever
that
is
Spencer's
going to
in,
bring
but they're
him
about
down.
5'3". They're like little bowling ball dudes. They're not like him.
I agree.
A lot of talk about dudes' bodies in this. I just
Who, me? I'm talking too much about guys' bodies?
a little bit.
Well, you haven't seen anything yet.
wait. Who's Gary?
I don't know.
Hey, I'll try to calm down the men's body talks. Anyway, so we join Spencer and Coke and their muscled bodies jogging on the beach. Chicks are starting to say hi to Spencer now. That was quick. One day, they're recognizing him. That was fast. That night, while slinging drinks behind the bar, the meow meow chick shows up, comes up for a sex on the beach, and she totally blows Spencer off. He's like, so, you want to get together later? And she
No.
just, meow, and leaves. Wouldn't it be funny if he like served her a little saucer of milk or something? That would be.
Give her some meow mix.
That would have been actually pretty good.
Fancy feast.
Well, he's kind of bummed out. He doesn't expect Coke to understand because he's so anti-girlfriend for no reason at all. But Coke suddenly gets defensive for the first time. No reason, he says. Let me spell it out for you, man. And he starts pointing to different girls on the dance floor. They wear high heels to make them taller. They wear push-up bras to make them bustier. That girl's wearing 7 pounds of makeup. They wear self-tanner, colored contacts. They have Botox. I even dated a girl with calf implants. It's all show, man. These girls lie to themselves. What makes you think they're not going to lie to you? You're not looking for a girlfriend, Spence. You're looking for a good time, and that's it. First of all, this is a really long dialogue scene when they're the only two bartenders at a really popular... Like, nobody's getting drinks during this
Coke
series.
is so full of resentment.
But, on the other hand,
Resentment or knowledge?
do
a
y'all
little of
agree,
both.
do y'all agree with anything Coke just said?
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course.
If a girl is so into presentation to become something that she's inherently not on a superficial level, do you think that is a red flag that if she can't go out and just, a light bass, just kind of
In
make
other
it...
words,
I'm just saying,
it's
if
difficult.
it
Will
makes
they
you
like
feel-
me for who I am, or should I present myself as something I'm not?
If it makes you feel good, do it.
But
If it makes you feel, if it makes you feel better about yourself to do something, just do it. Fuck everybody else. Just make yourself feel better.
This club is not a Barnes and Noble. It's not the library.
Exactly.
If you're going here, you're getting gussied up and you're looking to hook up.
Right.
So you think these girls do all this to put them at a step above and hopefully meet a guy and get laid, just like a guy goes out, puts on some of his Danky by Calvin Klein.
Yes.
By the doctor.
And
well, I would put it in the context of
Yeah.
if Coke just showed up as the slob with dirty clothes, not giving a crap because he gets laid no matter what, that would be different. But he's impeccably dressed.
Well,
His hair is, and he's.
one of the things that I was kind of
I
tuning
see
in.
what you're saying. Real quick, I see what you're saying. You're saying, who the fuck is Coke to talk? He's got the perfect hair-sprayed hair.
Tailored shirt.
He's got the
Driving the
shirt.
sweet car, living in his
He's
parents'
putting on the
suite,
Axe body spray, on
and
his
he's
nards.
doing everything because he goes out and
Who does he
he's
think
all,
he is that's so superior to these chicks?
If he didn't care about his appearance, it would be different.
But
I get laid no matter what. I was like, hey, I got an enormous dong.
So in a way,
Look at
we're
me.
saying here it swings both ways.
If Brody gave this speech in Mallrats in his dirty jacket and his greasy hair reading comics, it might mean something different. This is a guy who clearly doesn't put any effort into his appearance. Coming from Coke, who clearly drives a convertible, has the hair, has the beach house, he's putting on as much presentation as anybody.
But does Coke-
for him to come down on a chick for Botox or for wearing high heels is hypocritical on a service level, kind of bullshit on a.
I'm just saying.
Does he ever say that he's anything other than that?
Yeah,
he never says he's anything other than that.
Actually, he's part of the game.
He's basically saying that in a way, without actually using those words, girls do this too.
Yeah.
You know, the idea that there's the man shark
But
that's out there selling a fake story.
But
That,
I
no,
thought-
you're going to be Mrs. So-and-so. These girls, the meow chick, she's out there to meet a guy that she thinks is hot and get laid.
All right,
and party.
But see, that's one of the things that I was kind of tossing around in my mind after watching this a couple of times is that, all right,
You're tossing a lot of things around, weren't you?
So you're
It's
looking at
first movie in 56 shows he watched more than once.
So you're looking at like the 80s TNA stuff, which is all about, just having a good time, consequences
no,
damned.
there's deeper stuff there.
Yeah.
Overcoming
But
obstacles.
it's like when you talk about the sex and the raunchy comedies, it's all there's no consequences there. There's nothing. And I was kind of wondering how like this would be because there is a message to this movie that comes out towards the end, and I was kind of wondering, how would today's audience be being perceived on it. But I actually like this little scene with the meow chick just kind of meowing and walking away. This isn't guys taking advantages of girls. This is everybody's just trying to get laid.
Everybody's there to party.
There's no victims here. They know the game. They want to get dressed up for the game. They want to do the best that they can in the game and get laid.
And as a bar owner, Yak Boy, do you see this play out on a Friday or Saturday night? Chicks show up to get laid. Guys show up to get laid. They find what they're looking for. They leave happy. They come back the next time to do it again. You see this
all the time.
all the time.
There's both sides, right? I mean, there's the people that think they're going to meet somebody that maybe they want to go out with, but there are people of both sexes that are there to meet somebody that they think is hot and party, and that's it.
And some people just want to meet somebody to party, and if something turns out better, then all right, that's cool.
But otherwise, it's just we're going to get drunk and get laid.
I just think that it wasn't a hypocritical dialogue from Coke. I just think it was an immature dialogue from Coke.
I think the difference maybe in a lot of our 80s TNA flicks, a lot of those center around high school and college kids. And I don't think there's that maturity on the female side in those movies.
True.
To go out and get dressed up and get laid. I think a lot of times they're just, on spring break or this and that. I think what this movie maybe is doing a little bit differently than what we're used to. You have chicks in their mid-20s, and they really are equals and sexual equals in that they're on the prowl as much as the men.
Right.
And that's what Coke's kind of point out to. Like, look, they're looking for this. Don't look for anything more than that from them because it's all based on partying. It's all based on sex.
But what's funny is that, hell, I grew up in bars. It's always been going on like this.
Well, no, it has. I'm saying, but in the context of these type of movies,
right.
You don't often
It's
see
never
the
been presented
females
this
as
way.
equal combatants.
Right.
On the
right, and you great point. You don't see them as equal combatants, but they are. In real life, they are. And you use the Brody analogy, and at first I was like, why would you make the comparison? But now I do get what you're getting at. But to me, Coke never intimates that he's any different. He doesn't go out and try to act like he's some good-looking dude with a fire hose cock who's got some sensitivity. He's not trying to say that. He's just pointing out. He never even mentions it from the guy's side. He just says, this is what those types of chicks are about.
In his mind, I'm filleting them and they're filleting me.
Right. It's an equal symbiotic relationship.
It's a good point, and it's fairly, I'm sure it's been done on film, obviously, but it is fairly different than our usual.
Yeah.
In that case, it's different from Up the Creek, where Matheson meets Jennifer Runyon, whose boyfriend's an idiot, and she, over the course of this weekend, falls in love with him. And even though he's kind of a been there, done that sort of guy, he's fallen for her too. That's not what.
Well, even
what
in
we're
this
getting
movie,
at
we'll
here.
get to this in a minute. Even in this movie, the chicks that might be looking for love are still down for fucking on the first night.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the litmus test, like sex first, and then maybe it's the ass backwards.
Like I said, we're just out to have a good time. If something develops, cool. If something doesn't, see ya. I ain't interested in breakfast.
There's a French author whose name I can't
Unless it's
pronounce that wrote a
tacos.
great novel called Journey to the End of the Night that said something like that. He met a girl, they fucked each other in a hayloft, and he said it was just so much better after that. We saved each other 10 years by going through the ass.
All right.
Did she make horse noises in the hayloft?
She had mad cow disease.
She had mad cow disease.
Interesting talk. Well, I
believe they called it foot and mouth or hoof and mouth.
Hoof and mouth.
Hoof and mouth. Yeah.
Hoof and mouth disease.
he did her in the hoof and the mouth. There are moments in this film I'd like to have a serious little talk like that, because we're a little bit older, and this is a section of 20-something culture that we're not a part of anymore.
I think that for everything that this movie tries to be, and I think it succeeds at it for the audience it's targeting and what it's trying to be, there definitely is, I don't think you have to read too deeply into it. There definitely is a commentary on 2014 when it comes out. There definitely is a commentary on modern romance as far as what it boils down to and what it can be.
At least modern
Hookups.
dalliances.
I actually like the fact that, and again, this points to a point Tut made earlier, that this probably, if it was released in 2014, was probably shot a year earlier and probably written and conceived of earlier than that, and therefore it stands to reason it's probably for somebody our age that came up with it. That I like the fact of, now, in a serious point, at no point am I ever saying that my days, even my 20s, ever resembled anything like that, but just the idea that, for good or ill, these two dudes, and maybe Spencer would be this way if Coke didn't drag him out, these two dudes aren't sitting at home with an internet profile, they're going out. When I was the age that I think they're going to be in this film, I didn't go to the whatever the club was again, the Transient.
Sure.
I didn't go to places like that, but I went out with my friends. We went to places, and you met girls randomly.
This is still showing you have to go outside. This isn't the swipe right culture.
Correct. Now, granted, a lot of the clubs you went to did have trans in their names. The stories you told.
They did. Yeah. The transplant was a favorite of mine.
Yeah. Where'd they plant it?
That was in med school.
I'll come back to this theory, because we're going to see more kind of this world these guys are living in. After closing that night, Coke takes home a blonde bimbo. "I'm in love," he says as he grabs her, "with your titties," and he carries her away, which leaves Spence stranded at the bar with the bimbo's girlfriend, the more innocent Madison.
Yeah, she's innocent, all right.
But to note when they spell Madison in the credits,
MADYSIN.
They also she had her name on the wall with that Y.
MADISIN. Madison.
No, YN.
YSIN. Maddie
Sins.
Well, she doesn't even kiss guys at the bar, let alone give BJs in the bathroom like her friend Wonder Whore's doing to Coke.
Now, she has class. She waits till they get home.
Hold on, that's not my word. She calls her friend Wonder Whore.
Yeah.
Which, this is our second movie also in a row where one female refers to her best friend as a whore or a hoe. And once again, it's a screenplay written by a guy, and I'm pretty sure girls don't actually talk about their best friends as Wonder Whores and hoe. You said you knew some girls last episode, but I think doctors looking for their phone numbers.
Yeah, I'd like to know a Wonder Whore.
Just flash the Wonder Whore symbol in the sky, and,
Exactly.
and they'll come.
Just get that W up there.
Like the bat signal. Just show up the Wonder Whore.
Just a big dong up in the sky.
What is it, Commissioner Doctor?
She'll come.
Oh, we're not fighting any crime tonight.
Is that a guy with a nutsack mustache in the sky? They're signaling Wonder Whore. She'll be here soon.
Commissioner Hardon, what's going on?
Commissioner Hardon. Now we can write a comic book, guys.
Here we are on a dark night in Gotham City.
Oh my goodness. What is it?
Gonna fight my arch enemies, the poker and the diddler.
Damn diddler.
Sidekick Dick Grayson. Oh wait, that actually is
That is his name.
Robin's name. How'd they get away with that? Well, anyway, but she's not like her friend, and when Coke and the girl leave, she offers to give Spence a ride home. No funny business. He's like, I'm not in a place where I can. She's like, hey,
My head's fucked up.
I'm innocent. I just want to give you.
This
a ride
is where I
home.
wanted to punch Spencer because Madison is hotter than hell.
Well, innocent Madison takes Spence back to her place against his wishes for an innocent drink. She's like, look, I moved here months ago. I haven't had anybody
Who
up
the
to my
fuck
place
is
for a
saying
drink.
no to her? I just want you to come in and have a drink with me. No, I need to go home and
Well,
spank it.
as he looks around her bedroom at the dollhouse and all the other childish kind of decorations around, she suddenly appears in the doorway. She went to go get their drinks in nothing but her bra and panties, and ready
Sexy
to.
black Victoria's Secret bra and
She's
panties.
ready to do it to it. He tries to escape. I can't do this. I'm not this guy. But suddenly, Coke is at the door. I have got to keep you on a schedule. You're not leaving this room till you fuck her. And he points
Right
to her
in front of
right
her.
in front of
A
her.
schedule.
Her on schedule.
You were on schedule.
And then he slams and locks the door, and he locks him in there.
All aboard.
Madison,
Train is going.
the whore train. Well, she tells him, look, we don't have to do it. Let's just sit on the bed. And
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Poontang.
meanwhile, at Nutsack Mustache Mountain. Well, she's like, just sit on the bed and let's just talk. We don't have to actually do it. And he's like, thank you. So he starts spilling out his guts to her. He says, well, first he guzzles his beer. He's kind of stressed out, so he guzzles his beer and he says, look,
Because alcohol solves everything.
It does.
It does.
that's a Matt Cade quote.
Yes.
It may not solve everything, but it solves everything that I'm dealing with. It's not going to solve like world problems, but it solves my shit. Well, he tells her, you know what? I gave my heart and soul to Allison. I loved her with everything I had. I gave up my MMA fighting for her
Such a no-no.
because
man.
she said it was. She said it was too violent, and I said okay because I love you more than mixed martial arts. But it turns out she was cheating on me with my big MMA opponent, Kip. And the guy's been tormenting me ever since. He picks me apart and tears me. Everything I ever stood for, he tears me apart and makes me question everything I believed in. When he was saying that shit, like, she made me quit MMA and I promised I would never do... Did you guys think of Orgasmo? I had to quit hamster style. Remember that shit?
I didn't remember
Promised
Orgasmo.
I would never do it again.
I promised I'd never do hamster style
and
again.
there's a flashback. I'm never gonna do it again.
Dad, I won't ever do hamster style again. Whatever. Anyway, that's a very bizarre reference and you probably won't... There's one listener out there who's like, fuck Orgasmo.
No, I love that movie. I just haven't seen it in so long.
That makes
Chodo Boy tells
Chodo Boy.
tells his dad that he'll quit doing the martial arts, hamster style martial arts, and his dad's like, I don't care, whatever.
Whatever.
Well, just then, as he's bared his whole soul to Madison, because she seems really innocent and open, she jumps on him, straddles him, and starts grinding her hips into him,
You
begging
talk too much.
begging him to do her.
Innocent and open. Maybe the open part you got right.
Well, she starts talking in a little girl voice, promising him that she's legal, maybe, and telling him how much she likes toy shops. Not sex toy shops, like real toy stores, like Toys R Us. It's creepy. Well, Spence closes his eyes and pictures Allison straddling him.
Roger Goodell to legislate that one.
Like Coke. That's too far. When does this man lose his power? No, but he closes his eyes and he pictures it's Allison riding him because that's what Coke instructed him to do.
And he pushes through.
And he pushes through and he bangs her. He's such a hero.
He's
He somehow manages to.
He's overcome his obstacles. He's reached for the sky.
Somehow he manages to have sex with
the
these
Chariots of
tight-
Fire music is playing.
It's not. It's all of a sudden the voice of Rocky. It's not how many times you bare your soul to someone. It's how many times you plow through it.
Spencer, you're a bum. That's all you'll ever be is a bum.
How did he manage to screw this hard-bodied 19-year-old?
While Burgess Meredith is in the corner yelling at him.
Jeez.
How was I?
Come on,
how
Spence.
was I able to just keep punching that side of beef?
He screws her brains out. And later, as they're
Production note: this was some of the most horrible, wild audio ever.
the Burgess Meredith voices don't come through good.
No,
on the
not that. Hers.
You're a limp dick, Rock.
No, it was some pretty bad wild audio.
You're gonna piss lightning, crap thunder.
Well, on the ride home that night, they're driving with. He tells Coke, "You know what, buddy? In a weird way, that was just what I needed. Screwing that girl who talks like a little child."
And is of a questionable legal age.
In your own sick and twisted way, Coke, you're actually a really good friend. That really rewards Coke enough to where he smiles and he says, "You know what? I promise you, there's tons more sick and twisted shit on the horizon. The Mantervention is in full effect, bitches."
There it is. There it is.
There it is.
I was waiting for that.
It's working.
It's like you can't use a name like that without mentioning it in the movie.
Yeah. I think
I was waiting and waiting. I was like, if you wait,
Your
if
man-
this shows up in the last minute of the movie, I'm gonna hate this fucking movie.
Oh, dude,
I don't care what else was gonna happen. It's gonna hate the fuck. The Mantervention is over. Get out, you lousy sons of
No, it
bitches.
says the Mantervention.
It's like that sci-fi movie we saw, Mansquito, when he's like, "Hey, Mansquito!" right at the end.
Yeah, we're like, oh, they just
Come
threw
on,
that in there.
you should have done that half an hour ago.
Wait a minute. So there's rules?
Yes.
Oh,
That's-
yeah.
Because
he
I know there's
actually-
lots of
for
times
this
where y'all
movie-
hate on a movie
for this movie,
mentioning the
when
title.
he kicked open his bedroom door to drag him outside, he'd been like, "This is a Mantervention." He should have said it then.
Yeah, but this is okay that he said it now. Like, your Mantervention has begun. That's okay. If at the very last scene he's like, "Congratulations, here's your diploma. You passed your Mantervention," and we're like, "Bullshit, bullshit,
Lies,
Don't you
lies
do it.
and slander.
Don't you do it, Coke? Don't you do it?" It would be funny though if he
I
made
don't
like
understand.
a little collage diploma with Mantervention on it.
You can't have a friend like that who goes out and does such decent and hard collage work with those calendars from Staples and with the highlighter and the markers and
The rubber cement. He put all those little
I
buttons
mean,
on there.
This
and-
guy put. I'm sorry, but those calendars, that is at least a good day and a half of work.
It was.
Put a
really
lot
was.
of effort into this.
He did.
He should have come out. I mean, because remember, he goes to pick up his friend to take him to the beach house, but the calendars are already made at the beach house.
Oh, so he went to the beach house first.
That's right. He was
Spent
all
a
ready to
day
go.
crafting.
He
Went-
had already
went-
worked.
he went to Hobby Lobby.
He had already worked on his presentation. He had already worked out his math
Yeah.
formula.
He went to Hobby Lobby, got the supplies, did the stuff, and then went and got them.
I mean, if Spencer was like, "This is bullshit," and just left,
Did you get the feeling that
Coke was going to be like, "Man, I worked so hard on
Did
this."
you get the feeling that Coke was doing Spence's mom?
He probably
She
has
knew.
tapped it.
She was on his phone.
Remember, she winked at him, and Spence was like, "What was that wink about?" He's like, "Don't worry about it. There was no wink."
You know there was something there.
There's
They
something
all, the ladies like that, like, my God, look at him.
Yeah, he's got that giant dong.
They were childhood friends. They were out, swimming in the backyard pool or whatever. The ladies see that. Sick ladies.
This is
That's a prequel to this.
Sick ladies.
Episode 2, Attack of the Dongs. Well, speaking of Mantervention, we now cut to a Mantervention montage. A mantage,
a montage.
A montage.
if you will.
It's a montage.
We see the boys jogging on the beach, training. Spence is back at the gym, hitting the punching bag, sparring in the octagon. At work, they're like Brian Brown and Coughlin and Tom Cruise and Cocktail. They're throwing bottles to each other.
Coughlin and Flanagan.
And I actually like this because it shows that they don't just show up and are champions. They work for
They're working for it.
They work for it.
They're both banging.
These abs don't just appear naturally.
They're both banging new chicks every single night.
And the song reminds me of "I Like to Move It" from Madagascar.
Never
Yeah,
picked
that's
up
true,
on
that's
that.
true. I like to
Never.
move it. I like to move it. But there's not like a little voice in the back just going, "I like to move it, move it."
I'm sorry, some of us have never been to Madagascar.
Well, it's good.
Or is that-
I've
is that a
heard
movie?
stories.
Wait, who's Gary?
I don't know.
Well, they're both banging new girls every night. Some of these babes we see naked too. We finally start to as during the montage, we see a lot of naked girls in bed with these guys.
Yeah, a lot of naked girls.
Finally, we also finally see Spence's naked little ass as he's screwing these girls. Which I know the doctor, you were waiting.
You don't carve into one of those things without some serious MMA training.
You were waiting on pins and needles for that Spence ass shot.
Not particularly, but it didn't take anything away from the proceedings.
Well, it's a long montage of training, drinking, screwing. Everything is going according to plan. Well, almost according to plan. When Spence wakes up one morning, his conquest from the night before, Katie, is waiting out in the living room for him with coffee and a breakfast sandwich.
Sweet.
Big no-no. Big no-no.
And let's talk about Katie. In the
can't
words
remember
of
Katie.
Bart Simpson, I caramba.
Is Katie the main chick?
Yes,
Yes, she is.
Yes, she is.
She is awesome.
I caramba.
Well, we
have actually
seen her
Katie
on
before.
the podcast before.
yeah, she was in Final Girls.
She was the hot chick who drove the muscle car in the Final Girls, the slasher flick.
She didn't look like
She
this.
existed.
obviously.
She existed in the movie.
Yeah.
She showed up like in the muscle car and ran
Yeah.
over the slasher. She's only 25 years old. She seemed much older in the Final
actually,
Girls.
because Mantervention actually came out before Final Girls.
Oh, that's right. Okay. She's gorgeous. She's a really unique look.
Oh
I
my
like
God, she's
her. I love
unbelievably
her
sexy.
voice.
I mean, not like I can say like, oh my god, this movie is so old. It's a few years old, but you can really tell they're trying to like dress her up like Angelina Jolie. The dark hair, the thick lips.
I want to see more of this actress.
I don't know. She's very pretty.
I think we all want to see more of her.
No, I mean,
And
I
we
like
When
Not-
will she take this bikini off?
not only for that, but I mean, she's just a good screen presence.
She's very charming in this role.
Exactly.
The role that they were wanting her to play, she did that.
I wish
I mean,
the-
she's in a flick called Mantervention
I wish
about getting laid.
I
and
wish
she's-
the script
she's
and
got
her
soul.
dialogue scenes were up to par with her talent because they weren't in this.
I still no,
I
because I
think
still thought
that-
she was
I
very
think that-
charming.
Is less or more?
I think she's capable of much more than what she was given.
I agree with you on this.
Agreed, but I think that, you know, a lot of times it's, especially when we talk about acting, and this is a movie, so it's worth talking about it, you know, are you doing the work that you're being asked to do? So when you say you'd like to see a role more commensurate with what you think her talent is, agreed. However, this is a role that she's being asked to play. It's supposed to be done a certain way.
Right,
It's
it's
not-
There's a
Mantervention.
certain character she's supposed to
No, I
play here,
understand.
and
It's
she
not
hits
Wuthering
that.
Heights.
She hits that character completely.
I understand that, but
It's not a Meryl Streep flick.
Right. But even with what she was given, she came off very affectionate, very charming, very.
I thought she came
Cool.
out kind of weird.
I know. I thought she was
But
very.
not from her standpoint, from a script standpoint.
I just
I
found
thought she
her
had a lot of weirdness.
Right. No, I agree with
Well,
you
I
on
think
that.
they were trying to give her that. I'm kind of a. This isn't me feeling.
Well, yeah.
You're getting into the second half of the movie
Yeah,
with her.
you know
There's
what,
not
that's-
a whole lot of time.
That's true. So she's waiting there with coffee and a breakfast sandwich for him.
Say that she's awesome. Say that she's
Which-
awesome.
She was awesome.
She's okay. She's all right.
Oh, you wanted to be that
Fuck
guy.
you.
Look, the fact she has breakfast for him is a big red flag in the man program, rules.
Oh, before you start the man program, it's like, it sounds good to me.
Well, they make small talk, and she seems to get a kick out of him, I guess. You can tell from a story standpoint they're really supposed to grow some chemistry here. But when they start using terms like cray-cray, totes cray-cray, redock, obnox.
But they're doing it sarcastically.
Yeah, but they're also using it, using it. And then
These are my words.
Okay, that's bad screenwriting.
It's bad
They
screenwriting.
were, but it's bad screenwriting. But you get
I
what they're trying to do.
sensed-
They were trying to establish.
I
a,
know the screenwriter was trying to establish chemistry, but he was doing it horribly.
Yes.
They were doing
With
the best they
words
could with the resources
he
available
himself
to
didn't
them
understand.
don't
I just
know how many
looked at
times I've heard
stuff
that.
on Wikipedia,
It's
and here
weird.
I am.
It's weird that I didn't have a problem with this.
Doctor, did you save my wife's life? I did the best I could with the resources that I have.
at the time. Look, at this point when they were doing their little back and forth trying to get to know each other, and it's supposed to be charming,
I thought
I-
it was.
I wanted to snap their necks and bury them out on the beach.
I didn't get that filled with hate.
No.
No, I kind of
Okay.
agree
I
with him.
do-
It
I
was kind of
tot-
horrible.
It was hard to watch.
I understand what you're getting
It was
at.
hard to watch for me.
the writer
The
of the
writer
film
was
was trying
hurting
to
them.
fill in words that he didn't himself use.
They were so handicapped by a bad script, and I could tell the intent was to make them like each other and flirt, but it was painful for me to watch, and I just wanted to kill them.
You know what?
How would you do it different?
I would write likable dialogue where
This brings up an
How do you do
interesting.
like-
where they actually got to the core of who they were, but in a light sense, not too much too soon. But I'm not going to sit here and write a screenplay for you on the spot. But I certainly would make it more organic and more.
It would have been it would have been far more effective if they just looked at each other like I don't talk like this.
But
Something.
I don't know. I didn't have a problem.
Well, look,
with
there's a doorbell rings. They're saved by the bell, and it's Katie's best friend Monica, who's super pissed at Katie, not for banging the bartender, but for buying him breakfast. She's the female Coke. She's like, you can screw them, but you don't try to start a relationship. She drags her away. They leave,
and which is a good setup for Monica.
Roles are reversed. Monica is the female Coke. That needs to be set up here. Speaking of Coke, he shows up as soon as they leave, pops a bottle of champagne because Spence has reached his goal.
13.
And she was his 13th girl.
And I want to say, he pops a bottle of champagne, and then he pours the smallest shot into a Dixie cup I've ever seen. Because takes his champagne.
Even rich guys are
and
like,
he literally all right,
there's a reason they're rich.
Let's
We're
do
going
our,
too far.
our victory
There's a reason
toast.
they're rich.
Yeah.
This is why I love you, brother. Neither you or I had a problem with him popping that bottle of champagne at 8 a.m. It was the shot that he poured that we had a problem with.
I'm like,
even Trump drives his own golf cart.
You literally see them drink it, and it's like, there's not. You're supposed to fill that thing up, and they're supposed to chug some champagne.
You gotta pinch your pennies when it matters.
Yeah, that's right. Small shot, recork it, put it back.
Real quick. Oh, so all of a sudden, the
bullshit!
beach house
You drink the
isn't
whole
fully
fucking
paid
thing.
for.
You got a breakfast sandwich. Drink the whole goddamn thing.
know,
It's his mom's.
It's funny that
Pour it.
It's funny that bothered Cody, like the rich guy being skimpy on the champagne. That's a good point. Because real quick,
I was expecting him to be like just like two things, like down this
All of a
shit.
sudden, what's his 2 chains or whatever, just pouring it over.
Well,
everything.
without naming names, real quick, I once was driving in a car with a very rich person who had very rich parents, and we were eating ice cream, a pint of ice cream.
I have been told the story.
We were picking up his dad from the airport,
Point out your age.
teenager, and we were picking up his rich businessman dad from the airport. And we had grabbed a couple pints of ice cream from the house, and we're eating them with spoons from the house. And when I finished my ice cream, you're a kid, you're a teenager, you don't give a shit about anything. I rolled down the window, well, I'm done with this, and I threw the pint of ice cream out the window with the spoon.
What the fuck?
That's the reaction I got. What the fuck? You threw the spoon out the window. I'm like, you're rich. Who gives a shit about a spoon?
My mom has not forgiven him to this day. That's not me.
You're disrespecting the spoon, man.
Dude, rich people have weird quirks. It's 8 a.m. I got champagne, but you know what? This will be good later.
That
Put it in the
silverware.
fridge.
I had a jog on the beach to do.
That
I'm not
silverware
sure
is
that I
quality.
wouldn't be pissed if you
And
threw
if
my
it's
spoon out the
properly
window.
maintained,
that was a
silverware-
total dick move. I'm done with this.
I was
That
about to
silverware
say,
will last
I'm not
you the
rich,
rest of
and I
your
would have been
life.
like, dude, that's my fucking spoon.
Well, you're not rich. I would expect that from you.
An 18-year-old Cade's mindset was, I'm done with this.
Also, you're a litter bug. How dare you throw it outside?
I messed with Texas.
You messed with fucking Texas.
Well, I just thought it was interesting that bothered you. I never even thought about that. I
I just
that's all
figured
I'm
they
gonna
had to
think
jog
about.
on the beach that morning. You can only have a little bit.
I'm going to
Well,
bring
hey.
that up when we finish.
In 3 weeks, he's banged 13 chicks. He's smashed.
You and I'll have that whole bottle
He's
for breakfast.
filleted.
He's smashed 13 badges in 3 weeks. Not too shabby. Not too shabby.
You get a diploma from PTU, and it ain't Pennsylvania Tech. It's Poontang University.
Next, they go on a bro
I had
date.
one school that I'd go to. I'd go to.
And this
Poontang.
is actually what I like.
He'd be accepted.
Next, he says, you know what we need to do to celebrate? We need to go on a bro date to the beach. Just the two of us. Two bros. Have you guys ever used the term bro?
No.
Ever?
Never.
I
Nor
can't-
will
I-
I start.
Never.
I honestly can't remember one occasion where I used the term bro.
Never.
And the person that starts using it in front of me, I'm going to punch them.
Well, I can't because she
Anyone?
was my
Start.
wife, but
Start. Do it. Say it.
What about just saying
See-
the word bro, but not like in the term of bro date or bromance? Like, what's
Nope.
up, bro?
Nope.
Never
Nope.
done that?
Not
I
gonna
don't think
happen.
I've ever done it.
Not even like
I'm-
1986?
Nope.
I'm going to chop you in your larynx and kill you.
I said we were going to drink champagne. Oh, you were talking in general.
Just
Okay.
in general. I'm gonna
No. I
No.
hate that
I've always
that-
been more of a dude guy.
Dude.
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 If you remember, there's one episode where Tut told us he didn't like us to call him brother. He hates that.
Yeah.
We did.
We call everybody brother.
We love brother.
We love brother. Because we are brothers. Well, except for...
Well, I mean, when I call you guys sons of bitches, you understand that I mean that lovingly,
It's affectionately.
right? Yeah.
It's affectionately.
You're my
brother.
sons of bitches.
Do you know whose brother this is?
Do you know whose brother this
Do you know
is?
whose bro this is?
Oh.
It doesn't work.
Well, of course, Spence, while they're on their bro date, immediately Coke's already coming on to chicks. Did you hear there was a shark attack here? I picked up the shark, great white, flipped it over. The bro date lasts 2 seconds.
No, but even with that, he's still deflecting
Oh,
over
but he's like,
to
my
him.
buddy Spence,
He was like, hey,
he's
did
the
you
real
see it?
shark.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
the real
Spence,
shark.
He punched that. He's
He's
punched
still,
that shark
he's
in the
still
face.
working his buddy.
I would have fought it too, but I was saving children from the beach.
Oh, that's right. He does say that. I was saving the kids. Spence was wrestling the great white. Well, Spence, meanwhile, he's over at the ice cream stand, Lick My Cone.
Is that its name?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Where
I thought about taking it. I was like, is that trademark?
I'm sorry. That is awesome.
I've got to, I put that down to my research
by the way,
notes.
I actually opened up a little stand in my front yard, 50 cents, trying to raise some money for local charities. I got shut down pretty quick.
Dang it.
You weren't selling any ice cream.
Well, you got to make money to spend money.
You just had a sign, 50 cents to lick my cone.
It's just like my cone.
Well, of course, Spence runs into Katie at Lick My Cone, and they start flirting again over ice cream cones. Their chemistry's a little better here. A little better here, but not by much.
love her.
Not by much. I
I
think.
want to hook you up with her.
I think though.
That ability.
I think though at this point, the director could see that the dialogue wasn't getting where he wanted them to get, so he wisely sends Katie out to the water in slow motion to start getting wet in her bikini and showing off the goods. Good move, director. Good move. Well, Spence is certainly enjoying the show that Katie's putting on out in the water.
Chloe Bridges.
Just Chloe Bridges. Just her hair dangling in the water, pressing her boobs together. She's doing the whole thing.
Did they finally kick into 80s hairband music here?
Yes, a little bit of
Yes.
White Snake
Okay.
style music here. That is until Katie points to a giant jellyfish resting on Spence's foot.
And they do say that, look, wait,
Hey, don't go out in the water. There's a jellyfish warning. She didn't care. But one lands on his foot. He freaks out and he kicks it instinctually, and it lands on her tits.
Her wonderful tits.
They're wonderful. They're not pendulous. They're perky.
they are fantastic.
They're fantastic. That's a good word.
Fantastic tits.
Doctor, is that a medical term? Fantastic titties?
Yes, fantastic titties. Or fan titties.
Fan titties.
We say that quickly in the operating room. Fan titties.
Fan titties.
Fan titties.
FTs.
FTs.
FTs. So
Which can also stand for fun tots.
so they bounce off her boobs, and they're
tots.
both in an
But
incredible
the
amount
stinging
of pain.
tentacles
His foot is in pain. It's left a red. The stingers in her boobs. She's in pain. She immediately grabs him and says, "We have to go behind those rocks."
and you need to pee on me.
I've seen on the Discovery Channel. You have to pee on my boobs. To the acid from the urine eliminates the toxins from the stingers. TV doesn't lie.
Any excuse for a
it
golden
does
shower.
lie. You should never do that.
Fake news. Well, reluctantly, he whips out his pecker and starts spraying her chest with his urine.
No, he doesn't. He's like, oh, look at me.
No, he makes her cover her eyes with his T-shirt. I don't want you to see it. And then he asks her to get lower, like cock level, because I don't know if my stream can get up that high. So she's down on her knees and he's peeing on her chest. And right then, a beach police officer stumbles across them. Of course,
Hey, what are you doing?
he thinks it's some kinky golden shower sex thing until they explain. He sees the stinger marks, and he kindly grabs his squirt bottle of vinegar and says, "This works just as good as your pee," and squirts him down.
Why was that guy so familiar?
I don't know who that guy was, but
I liked him.
I hated him. He was terrible.
You just look familiar to me.
Well, the cop then is like, they're like, "So you just carry around that vinegar to spray jellyfish?" He's like, "Well, I also like to indulge in
Yeah,
it."
this is
And he
this is
chugs a
stupid.
big swig of the vinegar,
Stupid.
Which is healthy.
Which then he like
Is it healthy?
he hates it, like he's never done that before, and he starts like falling down the mountain. It's a rare comedic moment that has no comedy in it whatsoever.
Exactly.
No.
I just thought that guy looked familiar. I didn't care for him at all.
It was lame.
I liked
It was
him.
a lame scene.
I thought that the drinking vinegar part was stupid. I thought the trying to get up the sandburn was stupid. They hung on it way too long.
The whole scene was stupid.
It is kind of funny that he pissed on her tits and the
Well,
other
no,
guy
that was
said to spray
funny.
some vinegar on
And
her.
that'll actually come in funny in a minute when he's talking to Coke. Well, Spence arrives back at the beach house, and he's scolded by Coke for, "Where were you? You missed the chance to bang. I had Brazilian twins up here. Been there, done that." I'll tell you what, boys, it's fun. But Coke's tongue lashing is cut short When Spence's cell phone rings, and guess who it is?
Who?
Allison, the ex.
That bitch.
Spence is frozen. He doesn't know what to do.
What do I do?
Coke-
He literally says that.
Coke begs him, send it
But-
send it straight to voicemail. If you answer that phone,
Yeah.
it will undo all the work
And
we've
Coke
done.
is right.
Yes,
He's right.
He's absolutely right.
You're done with this bitch.
We have finished the man program. If you answer that phone, the Mantervention is a failure. Don't answer your phone. But dude, there's no
He's
hesitation.
actually- yeah,
There's
he's
no
actually
hesitation. Spence answers it. Hey, Allison, what's up? She's upset. She's crying. She tells Spence she's been in a
Pussy.
car wreck and she needs his help. And boom, just like that, he's out the door on the way to help Allison.
Pussy.
All right. Well, you've just been told that she's in a car wreck, so I think you go after that. But
Well, when he
Yeah,
arrived,
she was fine.
you
when he-
shouldn't have answered.
I would have
the
said,
phone.
"Where's Kip?"
hold on. Let's talk about this car wreck. When he arrives at the horrific crash site, Spence finds Allison's car. It is smashed into a residential wooden fence, and there is some smoke coming out of the engine, and the back bumper is missing somehow. I don't know how that happened. And there's no one else around. So it's like she was texting and just kind of drove off the road. There's no police. There's no other car. There's nothing. They run to each other and embrace and they hug.
How do we know Kip wasn't going down on her, and that's what caused the wreck?
Probably.
He
And then
ran off.
He always runs off
Kip
like a
just
little
took
girl. Well, she tells him she's so sorry. She's really sorry for everything, and she asks for a ride home. As they sit outside in Coke's sports car, she tells Spence that when she had that catastrophic car crash we just saw, you know, the one they just left completely unattended, he gives her a ride home. They just leave the car there smoking.
Well, you don't know. They may have called a tow truck and said, "There's a
It
car."
was on fire. There was smoke pouring out of his car. Like, let's get out of here.
He started drinking champagne in the morning. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
He's-
Dixie cup.
Losers drink Dixie cups.
When I had that wreck, I didn't think about Kip or my mom. I thought about you, she says. I still love you.
Lies.
Well, no, she didn't say love you. She says, I thought of you.
Lies.
They start making out. She gives him the eyes, the bedroom eyes, and they start
Lies.
making out in the car. Despite Spencer, he hesitates.
Lies.
And then jumps up a notch when Allison asks him to start pulling her hair.
Lies.
Well, freak, Allison. And then she tells him that she wants him inside of her, but just the tip.
Lies.
She's a no good cunt.
Man, she really missed him.
Truth, but lies.
But then she
Why
said,
just the tip?
well, it's not cheating on Kip if it's just the tip.
Oh, okay.
Because the tip won't do anything, right? Lies.
Is that is cheating if it's just the tip?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, you mean that's not admissible in a court of law? Just the tip? That's not a defense.
If it's just the tip, you must have quit.
So you can't do that? You can't defend yourself with that?
No, tip counts.
I'm definitely going to try
Oh
that.
boy, guys, I'm in
next
a lot
time.
of
Tip
trouble.
counts. But as they're getting into it,
Sorry, baby. It was just the tip.
as they get into it, and Spence starts undoing his pants, she says, "I love you," and it freaks him out, and he pushes her out of the car and peels out and takes off.
Good for Spence.
Good for
Which
Spence.
was the
Yes.
right decision.
Correct. We're all in agreement finally on
Except
something.
he should have already hit the gas pedal and shoved her out while he was driving. I'm just saying. It could have been both ways.
Or told her maybe the BJ is a better thing
Exactly.
in a convertible two-seater.
I'm not comfortable with this. Just
Get the BJ and then be like, I don't
Just
think
suck
we
on
have
my
I don't think we
wang.
have a future.
It's like he's come so far.
But you know what? He's not an asshole. He's a good guy, Spence. Well, back at the beach house,
They finished last, Cade.
when he gets back to the beach house,
Good thing I'm not a good guy.
With a pyramid of tissue.
he wakes up Coke, who's passed out in bed with 5 chicks.
and Coke actually asked the right question. Did I fuck all of them?
And they should have been all naked, but they weren't. They were like wearing bras and panties.
And then he asked the right question. Did I fuck all
That
of
was a
them?
great line, though.
And you remember from my It Follows episode, anytime a guy has sex with a girl wearing bra and panties, I call bullshit.
I'm just saying.
They should have been naked.
He asked the right question when he woke up. Oh my God, did I fuck all of them? I mean,
Well, Spence kicks the girls out. He ushers them out. Go call your moms. Pick you up. And then he counters Coke. What have you?
Because none of you have driver's licenses.
go call your mom.
Call the
because
school
you're
bus.
all enraged. My God, Coke, what have you done?
No,
Moms
he
question
looks.
your life choices.
Dude, he kicks them out and he asks Coke, "What have you done to me?"
They all put on their little Girl Scout outfits.
He says, "I'm unable to love now. I don't know who I am anymore. Hell, I just pissed on a girl's chest. To which Coke, in my favorite line, is like, oh God, I've created a monster.
It is.
I turned a hopeless romantic into a guy that's pissing on chicks. He's
Thank
like
you, Travis
He's like
Tritt.
Victor Frankenstein at this point.
It would have been great if he's like, I'm ashamed.
Actually, that would have been great if he went to the Victor Frankenstein Colin Clive. He's alive! He's alive!
Well, Coke admits that I don't have an exit strategy for this, young Spence. Truthfully, I can't believe you listened to a word I said, because secretly, I never said it. I'm just as sad and fucked up inside as you are,
It was
buddy.
like I never thought you'd make it this far.
Yeah, I'm just as fucked up as you are. Spence is speechless.
And then
He says...
now
well,
we
no.
come to the heart of the matter.
He complains. He says, every chick wants to take a ride on the Coke train so they can say they did it. But they always feel like vomiting afterwards. I'm a gimmick. I have this giant cock. Every girl wants a taste. They don't take me seriously. He's like, I'm a big dick ride at a carnival that makes you nauseous, like the Gravitron, only I'm the Gravicock.
It's better than being on the dock train, which no one wants to be on, and they still want to vomit afterwards.
that was another
But-
80s reference that I was like,
The Gravitron?
yeah, Graviton.
But it's weird, this scene, because the music's been very uplifting all the time. This gets the serious, dramatic
a
music.
little bit, yeah.
But he's talking about the Gravicock, and it's like kind of like, are we supposed to be taking this serious, or is he? Nothing is to be taken seriously in this movie.
No.
But so during the Gravicock conversation, obviously Coke is saying what's meant to be ridiculous, but it's kind of serious.
I thought that
There's
was...
truth in it.
No.
But he
I
says,
think
look,
that they were actually, this was part of the message. They
We're
were
stuck in this mess that we've created together. So naturally, now that you know I'm miserable, I've demented you to where I don't know how to fix you, Spence. There's only one solution we can do. As soon as the sun comes up, we're going to go get some Thai massages.
yeah.
I just think it's funny that you had your moment of what am I doing with my life when you said shorn pubes, but you didn't have it when you're like, as soon as the Gravicock conversation's over with.
Are you making PB&Js for the girls for lunch tomorrow? Hold on. Gravicock.
All right, so
Is that hyphenated?
I don't know.
Dash,
You're like a what's it?
I don't know if this is the right time to talk about it.
I'm
but
like Bob Cratchit.
It
at the
is the
desk
right
with a
time
candle.
to talk
Which-
about it.
which-
Let's
was
talk about it.
Which director was it in Jay and Silent Bob? Was it
It was
Jan de Bont? No, it was
it was Gus Van Sant.
Gus Van Sant. Matt, are you making Jenny? I'm busy.
Jenny, I'm busy.
This is it's tough. It's tough to like really kind of try to.
Jan de Bont.
It's tough to really
Gus
kind
Van
of.
Sant, Jan de Bont, close enough.
It's tough to kind of press this movie because it's such a lighthearted
It is.
and
And if you go too deep, then we're missing the point.
right. But
That's what
at the
Coke
same
said.
That's what Coke said.
at the same time, I kind of wish. Because all right, so this is where Coke turns. This is where Coke's
This is where
like,
Coke admits he's miserable
all
and
right,
he hates his life.
I'm miserable. All this, poontang stuff is just a front, and I'm secretly miserable. I actually wish they would have gone the other way, to where if Coke would have kept his, you know what? I like my life. I like nailing grade A vag every night.
Does he use the phrase "I'm miserable"?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He does?
He does, yeah.
Yeah. I wish that they would have said. I wish he would have gone. You know what? This is my life. It works for me.
It's not for you.
It's not for you.
I see
and
that
now
now.
I realize that now. Because
Let's-
there's so many times to where like we have that conversation with a friend to where a friend's kind of fucked up and you're like, well, you need to do this, 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 and this. And your heart's in the right place, but you're two different people. What works for you might not work for him.
Now all of a sudden they both need fixed and they both need... That's a very good point.
Right, I kind of wish that they would have left Coke just, the party animal guy, because there's those guys out there. And they're not secretly going, oh, my life's fucked up, I hate my life. No, they like their life.
No, there are guys that love that life. I think, though, if we go deeper with this, I think the analogy for this film is in that convertible, just the tip. We need to just put the tip into this movie.
Yeah.
If we go any deeper,
This
we're
is
asking
what we
for
do.
trouble.
This is what
True.
the TNCC
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
This is what the TNCC
No,
does.
TNCC
We go full shaft.
TNCC goes deep.
we
baby.
go balls deep.
We go balls deep. We do not do the tip on the show. I will not do the tip on this.
And even like I said, I mean, I really like the
That's
movie.
a good point, though.
But I
that
would
is a
have
good
loved
point.
that.
Like, let's explore the Lothario who loves his life and just wants to fillet vag right and left until he's at a washed-up 50-year-old. His parents' money's gone.
Well, I mean, I would have just liked it to where even if he would have gone, you know what, my life's not your life. Now let's go fix you.
That's a little too complex.
I have an
this movie.
interesting question for everybody. I'm not asking, did you know anybody like Coke? I'm just saying, did you ever know a guy back in the day? A serious question, so it's not like, oh yeah, me. Did you ever know a guy back in the day, college or post-college, mid-20s, that not like Coke, not a rich dude, but was a stone pussy getter?
Yes.
I did too.
Absolutely.
I think we could probably, if we could read each other's minds.
I guess we probably all knew one. I knew one that you guys didn't know.
Okay,
He's from the Dallas area.
I think we all three of us, and when I say his name from high school, you would know who I'm talking about because he was that way. Well, we went to school together. We know.
We went to high school together.
I'm constantly on the outside, guys.
Actually, the person I'm thinking of was someone I knew after college in 23, 24.
I know who you're talking about.
And eventually,
they're very happy in that lifestyle until it gets old.
Until I get old, yeah.
And they become like, you know what? They become this role. I'm miserable, and I want what you want. All of a sudden, it's Rambo. I want what you want. What you want. What you want is what I want. It's not over.
Okay, I was just curious. We all knew somebody that was an absolute pussy hound.
These guys exist.
Not into love, not into dating.
These caricatures exist in every shape or form and in variations of it.
But somehow continue to get laid all the time.
I'm with Todd. That would have been an interesting choice. It's not this movie. His solution, though, even though he is miserable, is we need to get some Thai massages. And they wake up and they go to the massage parlor.
Because that's
my favorite scene in the movie.
Oh my god!
Why did I know you would love this?
Why
did I know that?
My opinion of this film goes at least up a letter grade because of this scene.
They absolutely just pull no fucking.
They go for it in the scene,
here.
and I'm like, you know what? I forgive all the Justin Bieber jokes, all the bad dialogue. You won me back with this scene.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking awesome, but that's not the point.
No, it wasn't.
Well, unfortunately, when they get to the Thai massage parlor, the usual arsenal of Thai chicks have been deported by the government from the parlor. Thanks, Trump.
Thanks, Trump.
And the Kenyan dwarf who runs the place,
Deep Roy,
baby,
tells them not to worry because now with the Thai girls gone, we're offering other treatments such as Russian and Swedish stuff.
But I've got to stop. I've got to stop us. If you don't know Deep Roy,
I don't know Deep Roy.
You better beer me for the Deep Roy discussion.
He has been
beer me as well.
Was he in Rob Roy?
No. He has been a staple of movie making for decades.
Deep Roy, me and Tut.
Thanks, sir.
Who's Deep Roy?
Oh my god!
A staple in the movie industry for decades.
That tells me nothing. Who is he?
He has been in everything. For people who
he looked familiar.
Yes. For people who love Tim Burton movies, he was the Oompa Loompa.
Yes.
Oh, that they made all the Oompas after his image.
Correct.
Got it.
He was in my favorite movie of the 80s with Tom Cruise, not Top Gun, Legend.
Was he?
Was he?
Yes. Boy, that's a movie. I loved that movie when I was a kid, but I bet I haven't seen it.
There was a scene in that movie. They show you just before Mia Sara's character gets seduced by the dancing dress. There's a statue that comes alive and starts to move. The statue's like sitting there and then starts to move behind her. That statue was brought to life by Deep Roy.
Huh. He was also in a HBO series, Eastbound and Down.
Yes.
I think it was like the third season.
I believe he also played an Ewok in Return of the Jedi.
He did.
All right, the guy's been around. He's a middle-aged dwarf.
I like
a Kenyan dwarf.
Yes.
A Middle Eastern dwarf. Well, he tells them, look, we can do some Russian
Was
stuff.
he supposed to be Kenyan in this?
Well, Kenya's in Africa.
He is a Kenyan. That's heritage.
Oh, he's actually Kenyan.
Correct.
Okay.
So that's Africa.
I don't know what he's supposed to be in the movie, but it says he's born in Kenya. I looked
Okay.
him up. Well, he tells him, look, the Thai girls are gone, but we can do some Russian stuff and some Swedish stuff and still make you happy. But no Rimmy Jimmies, no Hanky Panky, no Brown Town, and no Tushy Pushy.
No Rimmy Jimmies, I'm out.
Doctor, what exactly is a Rimmy Jimmy?
I believe a Rimmy Jimmy is a procedure that involves something that is known as a rim job.
Is that a medical term?
Okay.
That is a medical term, yes.
But wouldn't that be the same as Browntown?
Browntown could be a number of things.
Okay.
Browntown is kind of slang.
I was confused about I was confused about
Didn't you
Browntown.
get a Tushy Pushy in Browntown back on the Travis Tritt tour in the early 90s?
Where did
I
you
gave
go?
a lot of pushy tushies.
You went Rimmy Jimmy on that one, didn't you?
No, I gave a lot of pushy tushies.
Oh. I'll have to go visit Browntown sometime.
There's some backup dancers in therapy today.
There
All
was
right?
definitely some backup dancers.
Does Greyhound
in
send a
therapy.
bus into Browntown?
I don't know.
I doubt it.
Well,
They might
if you-
stop for gas.
If you know the right people.
Stop for gas in Browntown. Well, they
Everyone stops for gas in Browntown.
well they do get massages. They do get their massages.
Unless you're an asshole and you don't.
Unless you're an asshole.
A lot of assholes in Browntown.
And in Rimmy Jimmy. Oh.
Oh.
If you're not lucky, you'll run into some real turds there.
Real pieces of shit. Oh, it's derailing.
This whole thing just stinks.
Hold on. Danky. The new cologne by the doctor. Danky.
Well, they get their massages. An old Asian lady, like really old, rubs and kisses Spence's back, while her Caucasian, white as snow daughter, gives Bianco.
In an
Like
Asian
our-
accent.
Like
This
our-
is
like our
quite
cigar,
possibly the
Bianco?
most racist scene
It's
I
a
have
white
ever
girl in her
seen.
20s doing a Asian accent. Oh, me stroke you off. She's jerking off Spence.
It
And
is so horrible.
No, she's jerking off Coke.
I'm sorry, she's
Yeah.
jerking off Coke.
Oh, you're so big.
I need two more hands.
Dude, her
is so bad.
her Asian accent, this white girl, is so funny. You're right, though. So offensive.
I have
but
a
it's
couple
so
of
funny.
Asian friends. As soon as they watch this, they're like,
But
"We are defriending you."
His dong is so big, her hands get tired. This is where it gets really offensive.
I need help.
So while working Coke's large Matt Cade-esque wiener,
Well, that wasn't in the script notes.
Nobody said
if you
that.
watch it with subtitles, it says that.
That wasn't.
Yeah, no, it isn't.
I read the script online.
There were no subtitles.
I can send it to you guys.
No,
my,
don't.
my internet's not working
Yeah,
right now.
your internet's
my
aren't working.
internet's not working. I don't have internet connection right now. So what does she do? Because she can't handle this giant dong, she calls her dad in. The little midget is her dad.
Deep Roy, come in.
So her mom is the Thai Asian lady. Her dad is the African midget. She calls him in
Somehow
there.
they produced this 5'11" hot white chick.
Well, that's her dad, and he starts showing her how to squeeze the wiener most effectively, and he's so good at it. Coke's like, you know what? You just finished.
Yeah, well, no,
And then
no,
he leans
Coke-
back
no.
and he's like, "Oh, your tiny hands are so strong."
No, what's funny is that Coke's like, dude, I'm feeling very uncomfortable right now.
But that
but
you
well,
know what, just-
no, you know what, fuck it, just go ahead.
But then he just he looks up in the air, he's like, "Your tiny little hands are so strong." Dude, this scene saved this movie for me. I'm not kidding you. This movie jumped up 2 letter grades because of this.
It was.
I'm not even sure we know what grade.
It was the funniest sequence by a lot. I was laughing so hard.
I will say this. I will say like 80% of America would be so offended by this.
Are we all
scene,
the way down to
but
like
this
U and
was
V? Or are we
such-
like M and N? Or where are we in the letter grades?
This
What's
was
going on here?
so damn
I was
offensive.
giving this
and-
thing. I was giving this thing at this point a C-. Now it's a B+.
Oh my god!
Dude, I was dying. I was dying from the white girl talking with the bad Asian accent. When she calls her dad in there to teach her how to do the hand job, and then he tells the dad to finish. Dude, that was so funny.
I will say this, man. Kudos for just going balls
Go
out.
for it.
Go for it. And you
But
went
on
for
that
it,
same
man.
You said they went balls out?
on that same token, a little bit later on, soon they don't go. It's a missed opportunity. They don't go for it, and I hate them for it, and I'll explain why.
Okay.
Well, suddenly, as they're getting whipped by big branches by the white chick and her Asian mom, Spence gets a text from Katie to meet her at the grocery store in 10 minutes, and he's out of there. I gotta go. Turns out she wants to cook dinner for him. No sleeping together, just dinner, she stresses. The seduction dance continues between the two of them. But he turns the romantic tables on her, and he says, you know what? Come to the beach house. I'm going to cook dinner for you. They laugh, and they seem to get along just fine during dinner. But perhaps more importantly, when he mentions that he's resumed his MMA fighting, Katie doesn't flinch. She's like, hey, if that's what you're into, it's not my thing, but I'm okay with you doing it. That's a big turn on for him. Katie 1, Allison 0. So they decide to take a soak in the jacuzzi after dinner, but they find Coke relaxing in the hot tub big time.
And he's relaxed.
As a matter of fact, he can barely speak.
So relaxed.
He can barely speak. He's so relaxed.
Oh, God. It's good to see you.
Anybody who's watched a TNA flick and a guy in a hot tub knows there's somebody down there blowing it.
Yeah.
I didn't see this coming. All of a sudden, he blows his load. Sorry, he ejaculates, doctor?
He spooges.
I like how the doctor corrects me. No. He spooges. Is spooges a technical term?
Yes, it is. And actually, it's like any other word. It's noun, verb, and even can be used as an adjective.
It is true.
You spooged, verb.
He has been in the... Well,
spooge is a noun.
It's not the New England Journal of Medicine. What was it? The
New England Journal of Medicine. Nutsack Journal of Medicine.
The Nutsacky.
Same thing. It's a side journal.
It's printed out of New England.
Online.
Vermont's a state there. Don't ask me about the Vermont vag regularly.
Well, here's the kicker. He finishes, and he's like, oh, he climaxes. And it's the old Asian masseuse lady from the massage parlor that bubbles up out of the thing. And her daughter. The white chick comes up, too. Oh, my God, dude. I was dying.
Doesn't the old Asian lady say in racist Asian tones, so big?
You have cock like iron, she says. And as they all start getting out of the water, your cock bigger than my whole village in Chiang Mai.
Oh, God, it's so damn racist.
Dude, I'm dying laughing. And her little white daughter gets out. This is where I say, you went for it in the massage parlor. That little midget guy should have got out of that hot tub, too. He should have been down there helping out. Am I right?
Only if he came up like with a little snorkel and mask on.
I am so disappointed in you guys. You didn't want to see that little midget come out of there?
No.
Deep Roy will only do so much.
Dude, B+. If that little midget guy had come out of there, like the mom, the daughter, and then the dad pops up, I would have given it an A+. Whatever else this movie does, I love it.
Next on the Tuesday Night Christian Club.
Come on, you wanted to see that
would
little
have
midget.
been well, what would have been cool is that, like, all right, the mom comes out, the daughter comes out, then wait like 3 beats, and then all of a sudden the dad comes out.
But he comes out like with flippers and a snorkel and a little mask on.
I would have taken that.
And some jizz on the mask.
You blew it, Mantervention director. You blew it. Well, obviously, with Coke's fresh DNA swirling around the jacuzzi, Katie takes a pass on the soak.
I'm done.
Wow.
And
excuse me, Your Majesty.
I'm going to take a rain check on the jacuzzi. She leaves, and as soon as Spence opens the front door to let her out, Kip's there, and he punches Spence right in the nose, knocks him on the ground. That's for fucking my girl last night. And then he runs off like a girl. Just sprints off.
Kip's a bitch, man.
He always just... Dude, he's got his little affliction shirt on, and he has no muscles at all. But he gets a sucker punch, and then he runs away. Well... Katie heard that, you fucked my girl last night. She thought they had something going here. I thought you were different than all the others. And she starts crying, and then she runs away like a little girl.
Now, if Spence had said, newsflash, bitch, I'm not, and the movie ended right there, would you have liked it?
If it ended that minute?
Yes.
Would the little midget be there?
Spence and Deep Roy, Coke and Deep Roy come up with a bottle of champagne and go, ta-ta, ta-tas, and she runs off.
And Spence is like...
This is why I am not a screenwriter.
I can see that. I can see that.
Spence chases her home and explains that it was Allison that he met the night before. He doesn't mention that he didn't fuck her, which I thought would be like the first thing you said. Like,
I didn't fuck her?
Whoa.
Katie, it was just the tip.
It was just the tip.
No, he never got that far. That seems important to me. Like, he said that I didn't actually fuck her. It was my ex-girlfriend. She jumped on me, but I kicked her out of the car. Why wouldn't he say that?
Well, I don't know. Maybe he was thinking that she's not going to believe that anyway.
Well,
They never do.
He pleads with her. He's not a club dude, a bartender that's out for just poontang. I'm actually a hopeless romantic, but Katie isn't buying it. Oh, yeah? Well, where's my say anything moment? Where's my boombox under my window? Where's my you had...
There's that reference.
There's another reference.
Where's my you had me at hello?
They all want the goddamn Peter Gabriel on the boombox.
And then she runs into the house crying.
But is that something that millennials are going to pick up on?
But did I miss something here? This is their first date.
No.
Remember
is
No, this is not. They hung out the beach with the ice cream cones, which wasn't really a date.
They tangled on each
other. This is their first date.
But I don't know. I guess that's like if you're thinking old school on actually
I got a
clarifying
flashback
dates.
to Pretty in Pink when they had that first date. Remember, and she was like, they got it so heavy, and we're like, it's their first date, right?
Oh no,
this is their first date, and she's like, I thought you were different. And
I don't
she's
know.
all,
To Yax's point, he pissed on her tits. I mean, I think that kind of goes somewhere.
It speeds up your relationship.
The romance.
It definitely takes intimacy.
Yeah, it goes a little.
I've already seen your penis.
And they've actually had sex.
Mm-hmm.
They've had sex. He's peed on her. You're right.
That's what I'm saying.
Some things have happened.
Yeah.
Some things have happened. Okay, that's fair enough. But still, it seemed like, I thought I knew you. It is their first dinner date.
Plus, of course, I'm always very interested in like generational differences on this stuff. There's a difference between dating in our time and dating in the millennials' time. Dating in the 20s time.
We gotta wonder: are the people that are going to get the Justin Bieber "fuck Bigfoot" reference going to get the "say anything" reference?
See, that's why I'm thinking that they were totally 40-year-olds that wrote.
And they're throwing everything in the blender and hoping it sticks.
Yeah.
You don't consider an ice cream cone and peeing on the tits as a dinner date?
That's foreplay.
That's why, even though I disagree
it's an appetizer.
That's why, even though I disagree in the effectiveness of the cray dialogue, I mean, I can understand why you object to that because, like I said, It's 40-year-olds who don't really understand that dialogue trying to do it.
Again, I think if we go in deeper than the tip, we're missing the thing.
Probably.
After a sweat-soaked punching bag session at the gym because he's frustrated.
He's like 115
Dude,
pounds.
you can tell though. He stares at a sign, "No guts, no glory," and he's getting his mojo back.
There's no easy way out.
There, you got your song. There's no shortcut.
There's no shortcut home. There's no easy way out.
Yeah. Like a change.
Well, Spence Spence checks into work at Club Transient, where Allison is in line to get in, waiting for him. He tells Steve, go ahead and let her cut in line, get in
Why?
there. Well,
that's the perfect opportunity for you to sashay your ass on in there.
Actually,
give her the flip.
Steve, she's persona non grata here.
Exactly.
No, he tells Steve, let her in, and she immediately starts grinding up against new guys on the dance floor to make Spence jealous. But guess what? Whereas before he'd look into the dance crowd and everybody would turn into Allison, now he looks out on the dance floor and Allison turns into Katie.
Yeah.
He loves her, boys. He loves her.
He loves her.
Well, suddenly Spence sees tiny but highly aggressive Kip show up. Kip Roy. Kip Roy shows up, grabs Allison by the arm, and demands that she leaves with him, which sends Spence jumping over the bar and racing over to kick him out of the club. Before Kip can sucker punch him again, like he did at the house,
Mario, my God!
Transsexual club owner Mario Van Peebles reaches up and grabs his fist.
Am I the only one who is like really applauding Mario Van Peebles in this thing?
I think you need to make his child support payments that month.
I liked it, man. I liked it.
Actors gotta act.
Work is work.
Actors gotta act.
Actors gotta act, man. You gotta get
you think he loved getting the script on his desk? All right, I wear a skirt.
Oh wait.
Oh, I get to fillet a Corona bottle. This is good.
Oh wait, I'm gonna get $50,000 for 4 days' work. Sign check.
Actors gotta act.
There's no easy way out.
You know what, Tut?
There is no shortcut home.
There's no shortcut home.
We'll test your theory, Tut. When Mario Van Peebles is on Inside the Actors Studio, let's see how many times he brings up Mantervention. I thought it really made me stretch as an actor. No.
No.
He's collecting a paycheck.
I'm not saying that.
We fight to
I'm not saying you look at the Mantervention and be like, oh, this is going to be my Tu Wong Fu. No, just have fun. Fuck it.
He did have fun, and you
Have
know
fun
what?
and fuck it.
He's a pro. He had fun, and he made it work.
Yeah, he was. He was good at it.
Well, he grabs Kip's fist as he's about to punch Thing, to which Kip says, "Back off, she bitch." Kip is not sensitive to LBT.
ZYX.
You can't call them she bitches.
No.
Oh my god.
No, that's offensive.
It is. No, it definitely is.
I think me taking a moment to point that out is good.
Well, you couldn't get through an acronym.
LBT.
LBGT.
LBGT.
We fight for love.
Q. LBGT.
There's no Q.
Yeah, no, they added the Q,
They added Q.
like 2 years ago.
What does Q
LMNOP.
stand for?
Quantum.
Quadrisexuals?
No, really. What is?
Queer.
Queer.
Why is that necessary? If
I don't
lesbian,
know.
gay,
Yeah,
tri?
I don't
no,
know.
it's-
And
We support them.
It's a different.
There's no easy way out. Sorry.
I'll take you right.
You guys are tired of that. All right.
I'll take you all down right now, you pussies. Kip yells as he's being dragged out
As
by
he's
the
being
Baltics.
dragged out.
I'll wipe all you out right now. Dude, this guy's so tiny, and they just drag his ass out. Which is good because Steve Marvin People says, "I was about to go Chris Brown on your ass." Another timely reference.
this is from the aughts.
Huh?
The aughts. 2000s.
Is that the aughts?
Yeah, the aughts.
The aughts. The aughts 45s.
Sure.
Dude, as a point on decade today, thank goodness for all us Cowboys fans. He didn't go. I was about to go Zeke Elliott on your ass.
And as far as Allison is concerned, Steve, Mario Van Peebles, grabs his fake boobs and says, "These things are realer than she is."
I like that line.
Yeah, that's a burn.
It is a
Ouch.
burn.
It's a good burn. Well, Kip isn't going out like a sucker. Minutes later, he sneaks an army of other dickbags up the back stairs to the club. I think they're going to, attack.
I thought they were going to fight too.
Like these are his MMA fighters?
No, we're just sneaking in there to break the
No,
fire
no.
marshal's orders.
They just snuck into the club and alerted the fire marshal that now they're over capacity and they get the club closed down.
And you didn't have a security guard on that back stairwell?
No, apparently not. Well, a bizarre-looking female fire marshal appears out of nowhere to shut them down.
Oh, she's actually been in some stuff, but I
All
can't.
right, kids, take your hot jiggly titties and your beach ball asses and go home, she yells out. Was she a transvestite?
No.
Okay. She was,
No, she's actually been in a few
she was
things.
bizarre
but
looking.
I've seen her a few places, but I can't place it.
Well, once they review the security footage, they see that it was Kip behind the violation.
that little shit.
That little shit. Steve warns them that they
want
better
no
be.
drama.
They better. He didn't. I told you when I hired you, no drama. And he warns them they better be at the courthouse the next morning to fix this mess. And don't think for 1 second, he says, that I don't know that Spence doesn't know how to make a goddamn drink, except Babe Reese's. Because I'm restocking constantly cranberry juice in here, like a bunch of old people are coming to visit. That was funny.
I kind of like it.
I like that line too. The next morning, the guys are parked outside the courthouse and they start talking. Why again? They decide not to bring the security footage and show Kip smuggling all these people in. Case over. It's
Because that doesn't do what they need to do for
serve
their
the
story of.
Well, Coke blames himself for all of it. Why did he ever get Spence into the banging random chicks?
That
wouldn't serve the story.
And it wouldn't get Long Duck Coke to
Yeah.
plant his seed within the
Correct.
fire marshal.
Well, Coke says, you know what? I blame myself for all this mess. Why'd I ever get you involved in the banging random chicks business when I myself don't get any pleasure out of it? Spence tells him, look, at the risk of sounding like the hopeless romantic I am, there's a special girl out there for you, Coke. You'll find her someday. And he also says, in all earnestness, and she'll have a whale's vagina, which is somewhat confusing to me at this point. Doctor, that's a bad thing, right? Being diagnosed with a whale vagina?
Not.
Under
Not-
normal circumstances, it would be, but if you are a person who has a fire hose cock, then you
would want that.
You would want a whale's vagina because
Correct.
now you're finally getting.
I missed that connection with the giant penis and the whale's vagina.
I had a friend who once told me he had the sort of relationship with his wife where they could make jokes to each other, and they were going out to dinner one night, and he was joking with her, and he said, "Man, you know what? I needed some new pussy." And his wife said, "Well, if you had 2-3 inches more dick, you'd get some new pussy." I thought that was pretty funny.
That was good. That was a good one. It's a good one.
Or as Andrew Dice Clay once said, my girl said, "Give me 9 inches and make it hurt." So I fucked her 3 times and hit her with a brick. Oh!
Oh!
The one I heard was, "Give me 10 inches and make it hurt." So I gave it to her 5 times and punched her in the face.
They're all
pretty much.
They're
it's
all
basically the
good.
same kind of thing.
They're all.
I'm sorry, I'm just kidding. I didn't mean to derail you.
It's all inappropriate sexual conduct. We don't approve. We don't. TNCC does not approve of any.
No, I would never hit anybody with a brick after,
we do not approve of any sort of violence. We're anti-violent, and we are pro small cock, medium-sized cock.
Well,
We're pro cock.
we're accepting of.
Go ahead. Go
We're
ahead.
pro cock.
Finish. What you're saying?
To be continued.
Just gonna go ahead and cut off a finger.
Well, Coke agrees. There is somebody out there for him,
How we hold this one.
and he announces, "I'm officially on cock retirement. No more meaningless sex." Look, guys, it seems Spence has now somehow helped Coke reach a realization.
Oh, why?
The tables have
A
turned.
flip-flop of roles there. That's how friendship works.
Yeah.
You help me, I help you.
It is true.
You were there for me, now I'm going to be here for you.
I guess that's how it works in the movies.
I have to say something here, I can't help it, about the ADR in this film. It's terrible. ADR is additional dialogue recording.
It is terrible.
When actors come into the studio after the fact, record their lines, and then that audio is used instead of the audio recorded on set, usually to counteract wind, street noise, things of that nature. Well, here it often doesn't match their lips. It sounds totally canned,
It's
like they're
totally different
into
sound.
a soup can. And it took me totally out of this moment with those guys, especially earlier on the Katie and Spence scenes outside. It was so ADR, and it was terrible. It was
Yeah.
terrible.
Well, it's
they
interesting
did some
because
bad
you know
ADR
what
in that.
No, maybe as a non-filmmaker, nobody would notice.
But you know what?
It also
you
depends
have
on what you're listening to.
You've taught me over the years to pick up those things,
Yeah.
and I didn't this time.
Well, that's good. Here's a filmmaking tip free of charge to filmmakers. Always keep your actors around until a scene...
doctor.
Always cast the doctor. He brings life to the set. Always keep your actors around until a scene is complete, and then record several audio takes of them delivering their lines on location. It sounds completely organic, and the way they deliver their lines will be fresh on their minds as opposed to trying to recreate their emotions and their moods months down the road. Boom.
Is that something that...
Quick fix, you're welcome.
Is that something that a lot of filmmakers actually do? Or do they actually do that like after,
And
like in a studio and all that?
I think
All
also,
this was done, I guarantee you, in a sound studio
Right.
with the actors like we are speaking into a mic.
Right, because it sounds totally different.
Totally different.
Yeah.
Also, do it at that point, Cade, in case you need to shoot a quick pickup, because Roger Corman's the king of cheap film, so it was funny because there was a sci-fi movie from several years ago that we both enjoyed, Dino Shark, and Eric Balfour, who is actually a decent actor. He's you could tell they shot this pickup because he's kind of a tall, thin guy, has a real pointy chin.
Right.
I actually like Balfour, but through the whole movie he's got like a real short hair, and like halfway through the movie, like not the last 10 minutes, like halfway through it, you could see a pickup. All of a sudden, he had let it grow out, like 6 months of like curly hair.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay,
Well, we had talked on another episode that you should watch, the Pretty in Pink episode, where what's his name comes back at the end during the prom scenes, and he's like anorexic.
Andrew McCarthy's way skinnier. His hair's different.
The movie you've cited several times tonight, Mallrats, they make fun of it in the audio commentary when they're doing the game show at the end, and Kevin Smith starts breaking down laughing. They're like, Claire Forlani is like, it's not the same hairdo. It's not even the same chair. It's not even the same actress. They start busting
it was done months later. Like, she looks totally different.
Yeah.
Her hair is a different length. But that's some things you can't avoid. But always take 10 minutes at the end of a scene when you've wrapped shooting. Go around with the mic.
Yeah.
I make everything we do it. And
I
just
agree.
get everyone just saying their line.
And you've been doing that since way back in the day, since earliest beginnings.
I learned it very early.
Yeah.
I learned it very early. So there's a little free tip to all you filmmakers out there.
No, I don't want to get off on the tangent, but how hard is it for you to match it afterwards?
It depends.
A hell of a lot easier than the canned response.
The canned, yeah.
We had our actors come in on my film. We talked about the romantic comedy Graduation Day. We did not do that. That's where I learned this trick. We had them actually come into the studio, set up the mic with the windscreen, and had them try to watch themselves and then try to do it.
Right.
It sounded terrible.
Right.
So getting the natural tone of the
Everything
outdoors.
after the fact, every film I've done ever since, getting them in that natural environment. One, you're not recreating the birds in the sky. You're not recreating the ambient. It's there, and it sounds so much better, and you don't notice it.
You can tell when you're watching a movie where it's somebody in the studio.
And be very, very, very. This is important for your editor. Be very judicious when you use it, because sometimes a line, if there's a little bit of background noise, you're better off going with that than the crystal clear line that's ADR, because it sounds better. But if you run that risk of taking the viewer out of it, go with the slightly flawed line. You're better 9 times out of 10.
I would think it would have been a lot more difficult, or maybe even more important, for Underbelly, because we shot so much outdoor. Graduation Day is an indoor film.
Correct. Well, we did everything on set, and we recreated a ton of dialogue in the horror film we did, Underbelly, and it worked so much better because we caught it all on set.
Cade and I will do a podcast on our film work someday.
We did with our last short film. We did the ADR round after it, and there was a lot of dialogue that came out of that ADR that I actually used in our cuts. And I'm not used to having that ADR sound on it.
It's a nice
because
tool.
I usually when people record ADR, like you said, it's that can. It just doesn't sound right.
No,
it doesn't sound good.
After 20 years of working with Cade, I was used to that. I was like, we're gonna hold up the microphone.
And from a production standpoint, you're saving money. You don't have to bring actors back and pay them for another day in the studio.
Exactly.
You don't have to.
But like you said, to a point that you did earlier, sometimes even though you have that, original dialogue that might have some background interference into it that's not as crystal clear as the ADR you recorded, sometimes don't go to that ADR, because the performance that you actually got in the not perfect is a lot better.
And it's honest, and it reads true.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to hear that plane flying 100 miles away. You hear it with your headphones and with an editor's eye, but nobody else is going to hear it.
Hear me, and let's finish this.
But it's funny because a lot of times it depends also on the device that you're listening to. Like when I watch the Sopranos. The Sopranos, when I watch on the TV, sounds great. It's cool. As soon as I put on the Bose headphones, I can actually hear the difference between ADR that was added into it.
It takes me out of it.
This was a lot worse than anything that the Sopranos ever did, because their ADR.
Man, it's a funny story.
Sopranos, Mantervention.
Their ADR inserts are just.
When we were shooting Graduation Day.
Conserve.
When we were shooting Graduation Day, so not your first feature, because Smoke Some Kill.
My first real. I did Smoke Some Kill.
First feature, was that a real money involved in it?
I was the only crew member on Smoke Some Kill.
I just remember we were done with principal photography, and you were editing it, and the new season of Sopranos was about to start, and so Kate had rushed back to get back there, and I think it's season 4, and I just remember I was like, this is where Kate's eyes turned, and for the better. Tony walks down in his bathrobe to get the newspaper, and you see the tag. He's got a white bathrobe on. You can see this tag in his bathrobe. And he turns around, Cave's like, oh, fucking for Christ's sake. He's like, thank God. I thought that was a microphone back there. It's like, I can't look at shit anymore.
As a filmmaker, you do get to the point, especially when you're making a film, You can't watch a film like a restaurant scene without watching the couple over this table. They're fake talking.
Yeah.
That waiter is doing what he was. You just see things coordinated, and it sucks. And that goes away. But when you're making a film, you just see everything structured and production-wise. It sucks from a film fan standpoint. But you know what? Just don't overdo your ADR. Don't recreate these whole scenes with him and Spence and Coke, and with Katie and Spence. It was all redone in ADR, and it sounded terrible. It sounded like they were talking into soup cans. I mean, it was just really bad. But I digress. I do like to go into that kind of fun stuff every once in a while.
No, I think it's good.
Well, it's too bad that Coke went into cock-tirement a few minutes earlier, because when they sit down with the heavy set, and again, very bizarre-looking fire marshal, she says she'll throw out the overcrowding violation.
She's about she's about a 3'10" black woman with a big ass mole on her lip.
Big mole. They always go with the mole.
The mole.
350.
350?
And she'll
3.5.
She'll forgive the violation if he smashes her vag.
With the fire hose that
she's heard about.
Oh,
Coke.
no, here's what she says. I hear he has a fire hose that put out a towering inferno, and I haven't been laid this millennium. Ugh. Yikes.
And even if this script was written in 2010, that's bad.
Our ever lovable Coke goes, I'll do it.
I'll do it.
Well, Spence, or Coke, can't deny his destiny. This is who he is. He swore off it, but hey, I was born for this. I can do this.
When God gives you gifts,
This will
you have to
save the
use
club. I can do this. This is what I do. So Spence and Steve leave the room while the huge African-American woman unleashes the only two suckers in the world I can trust, her big ebony boobs. And she proceeds...
And by the way, Cade, as we've pointed out with white supremacy, the fact that she's huge and African-American is not a problem. But as Tut pointed out, she's got this mushroom fucking wart on her face.
Yeah, they had to throw that in there. And a receding hairline. I mean, it's like
I can get down with some tons of fun, but don't have that goddamn.
She's like a
Morgan-
big black Clint Howard. It's just hideous. It's just hideous.
Oh God!
That's
God!
the perfect analogy.
It's terrible.
More friends and allies. More friends and allies. More friends and allies.
Well, he proceeds.
By the way, we have to mention that Mario showed up like in a suit and tie.
I'm not going to get to that. Yeah, he showed up to the hearing dressed as a man in a suit and tie. He looked pretty good. Well,
he's almost 60.
She proceeds to bury.
He looked like Mario Van Peebles from this stuff. No.
She proceeds to swing her legs over and bury his face in her grand cavernous crotch. Eventually, a rattled Spence stumbles out to where the boys are waiting for him.
Dude, she had some hair between her tits.
I know.
Come on, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do it all the way.
Now,
I'm sorry, but just the face when you said, I know.
Now Spence is experiencing POD, post-orgasmic disorder.
Depression.
Depression. I'm sorry. You're very depressed.
It is a disorder.
And it's
too.
only made worse when Mario Van Peebles points out that he's got a long, curly pubic hair stuck in his teeth. Coke says that's probably when she forced him to mouth hug her vagina, which then leaves Coke into a series of dry heaves and gags. He gags up a bunch of weird material. It's gross. The whole scene is just really gross.
Weird material.
But it was all worth it because
it was her fucking bush.
It's all worth it because he tells them the club can reopen on Monday. I did it. And like you said, this is the first scene where Mario Van Peebles is just Mario Van Peebles. He does look good. 60 years old, he looks good.
Yeah.
Well, after witnessing the terrifying ordeal that Coke just suffered through, Spence is more dedicated than ever to his hopeless romantic monogamistic philosophy. So he runs across town on foot.
One thing that was kind of sorry to back you up a little bit.
I accept your apology.
One thing that was kind of interesting is that Mario gives this nice little dialogue about, hey, you know what? Sometimes you just got to grow up and be you. You just gotta,
Do you hear me, Spence? I'm talking to you. Be you.
I'm talking to you. Be you. Maybe it's time for
Which
me.
Which means nothing because then he's like, as
maybe
soon as
it's time. Maybe it's time.
I'm going to get my wig.
Exactly. Maybe it's time for me to put away the craziness of the drag and all that stuff and just be me.
As soon as they say that they can reopen on Monday.
As soon as they're like, you're open on Monday, it's like, woohoo, party time.
I got to get my fake titties. Yeah, it made no sense. Just the tip, boys. Just don't go deep. Just the tip.
Only I'd had that talk at some point.
Spence runs across town on foot now. He's determined to get Katie back. Kip shows up. As he's running through town, Kip shows up in the middle of a residential street. Hey, pussy, I'm going to beat your pussy ass for stealing my girl once and for all. To which Spence beats him with like 3 punches and knocks him ass down. They show Kip on the ground, blood pouring out. I didn't know you could punch like that.
Take that, Kip.
I thought this was leading up to a huge MMA battle.
Just the Kip.
Dude,
Well,
I thought
I
this
was
was going to
expecting,
lead up
like,
to
some
the
flips.
octagon, like Kip and Spence
Maybe
hardcore.
an arm bar.
No, they didn't have time for that. They were running
It was
money.
going to be that whole scene.
It's over, just like that.
It was going to be the whole scene from Enter the Dragon where he's jumping on his chest, cracking ribs.
Well, first of all, Kip's line, I'm going to beat your pussy ass for stealing my girl. There's a million things wrong with that sentence. I'm a pussy because I stole your girl who you stole from me, and I'm somehow a pussy for...
She showed
None
up
of
and
that
jumped
makes-
on my dick.
None of that makes sense. But anyway, he beats his ass with some strategic blows to the face.
And then he's like holding a transmission in the air and he tosses it on him.
That didn't happen.
That didn't
Oh, wait,
happen.
that was, I'm sorry.
That was a different movie.
That was Kentucky Fried Movie.
Well, when he finally shows up at Katie's door, he throws an apple hard at her chest. Like, she's like, what the fuck?
He's already pissed on those titties.
I mean, he literally, it's not like
he
like,
beams it.
He just like
throws it. And then she's like, what the hell? He has a bushel of apples in his arms, and he drops them on her porch. And he says, here's your boombox, baby. I love you. She takes one look at him, jumps up, straddles him, starts shoving her tongue down his throat, and they go inside and screw.
Love
Trivia.
lift us up where we belong.
Trivia time. I didn't talk about this earlier.
Where the angels fly.
What is the
It's
significance?
you and I.
What is the significance of him throwing that apple hard at her chest?
well,
Were you guys paying attention to
Didn't
that?
they do
Well, she
that
po-
in
she
the
pointed out earlier
grocery
that-
store?
tossing an apple is a sign of proposition.
In
It's like the grade school
ancient cultures?
or grade school.
I thought she said, like in some cultures, tossing fruit at somebody is a sign that you desire them.
Okay.
It proves he was listening.
Yes.
What you guys just proved is you weren't listening.
I was totally
I was totally listening.
All right, well, listen. She takes him inside, and they screw each other's brains out again. That night at the...
Oh, fucking gorgeous.
Yeah,
God.
she's-
Oh, my God.
She's
She even made a comment on her IMDb page about how there's a feature about me you might notice. My lips enter the room before I do.
I had noticed.
Love Chloe. Love her.
That night at the beach house... where's my letter? That night at the beach house, at the after-hours party, Coke's voiceover, he's back. We open with a voiceover or close with a voiceover. He tells us, if you don't daydream of walks on the beach or cry at operas, then you're missing out because romance is alive and well. Why the positivity regarding love coming from Coke, you may ask? Well, we see him on the beach having sex with Katie's friend Monica, the female Coke from earlier in the film, and she tells him what no other woman has ever said to him. She wants all of his gigantic penis in, balls deep all the way in.
She has
can
the
ha-
whale
she's
vagina.
the
Whale
can-
vagina.
she can handle-
She can take all Coke has.
She can handle his enormous penis. He's finally found the whale, but he's the Ahab has finally found his whale vagina. And he's in love instantly. That's all it took.
Meet me halfway
That should
across the sky.
have started playing at this point.
Out where the world belongs to only you and I.
It was a tender moment.
Meet me halfway. Sorry.
Well, now,
Sorry, sorry.
now
I
said,
get emotional.
No, but
sometimes.
now I said I didn't understand the whale vagina reference earlier. I got it now.
Yeah.
He needs a whale vagina to
Sheathe that sword.
accommodate his K-esque penis.
That wasn't.
That was in the film. They said
that wasn't the reference in any way, shape.
I was flattered. Unnecessary shout out to me, but
No.
It wasn't a shout out. It wasn't.
that didn't happen.
It didn't. That's not.
Okay. Well, as the camera slowly drifts up and away from the beach house, we hear Monica scream out that for the first time her vagina feels so amazing,
And she's getting plowed like a.
and we fade to black. The end.
To the slowest credit crawl.
Well, there's
ever.
8 minutes of credits,
It's so
There's all those hot beach babes they have to
slow,
give them.
but that's what we end the movie on. Her saying how amazing her vagina sounds. The end. I will say this before we get into our closing thoughts. For a film called Mantervention, I don't think I've ever heard the word vagina used more in a film ever. They say the word vagina like 50,000 times in a second.
Yeah.
Vagina.
Vag.
And that's not the vag. That's just they just say vagina a lot.
Well, as a
You guys liked it.
lover
I like
of
the film.
film,
I did like the film.
As a
I
cinephile,
like vag.
I'm sorry.
did you like this film?
I did like.
So no, I hated it, man.
You liked it?
I liked it.
Thumbs up. I'll even go above and beyond on this because
the greatest film I've ever seen.
I'm thinking it might be the funnest film that I've watched this year on the podcast.
Well, you and I agreed Schindler's Prick was pretty good.
It was.
Oh wait, that
It was.
sorry.
We did Getting Lucky with the little drunk leprechaun.
Yeah, this is a lot better. I'm sorry. To me, this movie had soul.
Exeter Flexeter.
I mean, regardless of, despite all of its flaws, this movie had soul. There was a soul to it.
You
I know
what?
that's weird.
Honestly,
it
Doug, you know
did.
what it is? It's a subjective thing. Some people hear music, like they'll hear a country song, and where one guy will be like, superficial to me. Like he's talking about girls and trucks and whatever.
That's what art is.
Another guy will be like, no, I actually heard some soul in that song. I heard him speaking from a place of truth. You got that from this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
I did not get the soul that Tut did. Did I get what I was looking for in tonight's movie? Yes.
Exeter Flexeter, Spencer and Coke. To your pussy, I'll give a grand poke.
I think that
Exeter Flexeter, the green grows the grass. Spencer and Coke will tag your ass.
I mean, obviously, there's.
You keep laughing, I'm going to keep doing it.
No, please.
Please stop.
If this makes no sense to you at home, watch our St. Patty's Day episode.
It's so weird because I want to go deeper on this movie than I should, and it's obviously with a movie like
you gotta
this,
go just the tip.
You can't go that
You
deep.
gotta go the tip.
But I think that there was elements in the movie that I think that were deeper than just a TNA flick, and that's what kind of caught me off guard with the movie. When I first started watching it, I had my own preconception of what this movie was going to be, and I was about to just smash it. I was looking to smash it.
Smash
I
that
was
badge.
wanting to smash this
that
badge.
badge.
I wanted to smash this
Smash
badge
badge.
so hard and just thumbs down it. And then I got into it, and I was like, actually, there's a lot of stuff here that I kind of dig.
I think there was a lot of stuff there that we dug out of it, where
But I think it was there.
The viewer-
I mean, but at least it was there.
We put our hands into it and really reached around.
we jostled that badge.
elbow deep in there.
We needed it. We needed it.
thing.
Just working it.
I liked it.
You
The
always get a kick out of saying, "Man, we've given this." Or actually, the doctor says a lot. Like, we've given this movie way more analysis than it deserves.
I like that.
Yeah.
No,
totally.
that's our jobs, and we do it with every movie, whether it's a good movie or a bad movie. We do it. This is one where I feel like we pulled stuff out of it that maybe for certain the common viewer would not.
Yeah.
And that's what's fun about what we do is we dig for the hey, if we see an opening for some kind of subtext or some kind of introspection or some kind of interesting discussion that can spring forth from a mediocre movie, we do it, and that's what I love about what we do. I having watched it a few times, it's okay.
I do wish that they would have gone with.
I did think that the acting was held hostage by the script, in many cases. I think the guy that plays Coke is actually probably a pretty good actor, but he only had so much.
I'm going to give him credit because
more so than him, Katie. I'm really intrigued by Katie, but she really had some bad.
I would like to see her
she
in
had some
other roles.
some bad blueprints to work with.
Coke Travis Van Winkle was he played the
only thing I've seen him in is the Friday the 13th reboot,
and he played an
And he was
asshole,
so
and he
good.
was great as the asshole.
He played Coke with no.
Even more, he wasn't in the Friday the 13th remake. He was an angry dickhead.
Dude,
He had none of the Coke lovability. Even if Coke was played as a straight douchebag, he's having fun. In the Friday remake, he's a dick all the way through.
But he's Coke, but with no compassion for his friends or
anybody. Even his girlfriend, who's the
Yeah.
hot chick from The Flash.
Yeah.
That no, his girlfriend is the Panabaker chick
Oh,
from The Flash.
Yes.
Who ends up going
Doc.
Oh, Doc.
Frost.
Okay. Frost.
Frost.
Okay.
She goes for Jared Padalecki of
Yeah.
Supernatural
she
fame.
She leaves him early in the
but
film.
he's totally a dick to everything. Like, they've got the big house. That's his parents' house. But even from the beginning,
You know what? I never realized that he took him to his parents.
he took him to the
It's
parents'
not the beach house.
But
it's the lake house.
unlike Coke at the lake house, he's all over his friends from the beginning. Like, you don't spill any beer in here.
No, he's very.
You broke that table. He's a total asshole, but he does it really well.
Don't throw your spoon out the.
He does
Throw
it,
your spoon out the car.
He does it very well from the beginning.
Yeah.
No, it's
It was good. It wasn't.
Exeter Flaxeter. It wasn't the pits. We saw a hot girl get pissed on her tits.
You know what? It was exactly what I was looking for. It was a contemporary TNA beach flick. A little too.
Can we get a toast to how hot Chloe Bridges is?
I'll toast that every day of the week.
Just how hot she is.
And to their benefit, they filled it with hot girls. They filled it with a lot of naked ass, a few boobs. It's a lot harder to get, I guess, girls to show their full tits than their bare asses, because there's a lot of bare asses in this film.
Fantastically bare asses.
But you know what?
I've always
I hesitantly give it a thumbs up.
I don't hesitate in my thumbs up.
You guys are full force.
Yeah,
of
I think it always comes down again to perspective and being able to analyze films for what they are, and being able to judge them differently. And there's going to be people that the highbrow, whether they're hipsters or assholes or nerds or whatever, there's going to be people who can't look at a film differently from Jules and Jim or whatever, or this is what it is. It's got a target audience, but still I think they accomplished what they were trying to do excellently. It's very rarely that I'll go back and watch a film twice that quickly.
Right.
And I was excited to see it again. And I'm a guy. I wanted to see
You watched it twice?
I did.
Once?
Absolutely.
Once
I
or
wanted
twice?
Twice.
And you know what? And yeah, the TNA
Twice.
was a big
and
factor.
I will say this is the first film that we've done I've actually watched twice.
In 56 episodes,
in 56 years.
this is the first.
Well, no, because I watched Turbo Kid like 5 or 6 times, but it was after the
After the
podcast.
fact.
I watched it twice before
This
we
is the first
recorded
movie
this.
before we've done it on the show. You've watched it more than once?
Oh no.
You watch it. I can tell you got some insight. You watch.
Yeah.
You take your job seriously.
Yes.
I'm just saying some of the movies that we watch, I don't need to watch twice.
Well,
I
I have to watch them all multiple times.
there's so many times.
I watched most of them twice if I haven't seen it already.
I think that there's every 80s TNA flick that we've done, I've always questioned why aren't these movies out there?
You know what, though?
Is it a genre that was like too time related and now it's past? I think that this captured the spirit.
I will say this though. On that note, I will say I was looking for a modern contemporary TNA beach flick. That's not what this is. This is a 90s relationship.
Yeah.
This is Chasing Amy with titties and stuff on the beach.
It's an evolution of the 80s TNA.
The dialogue is 90s Kevin Smith to a certain extent. And you know what? they missed more than they hit, but it was fun.
It was fun.
And
It was fun.
I think that's what it was supposed to be. It was
And
supposed to be a
Just
fun movie.
the tip.
Just the tip.
And I
Just the
like
tip.
and I like that. You know, a lot of people will be like, "Oh, you can't show sex, you can't show this, and you can't show why not? Just have fun. Have fun. You're fucking young. You are young. Get out there, have fun. Don't hurt anybody.
Too
Don't
many
hurt
squares
yourself.
these
Do your
days.
thing, man.
Too many squares.
Well, there's a lot of squares that would probably look at this movie like you're you're
Mincy.
you're objectifying.
What's the pretty Jesus, Mincy? Why don't you go take a shower?
To give us some Spader.
I really don't know why you're dragging me down, Todd. I mean, this is the last high school party of my high school career. I mean, you can show up with this trash. I mean, if you're going to show up with the trash, why don't you take it somewhere else?
I love it.
If you're gonna piss on some chick's tits,
If you're going to piss on it. Todd, if you're going to drag a girl to the beach and show her some jellyfish, I mean, you're going to piss on her tits. Could you do it someplace else? Because frankly, Todd, it's kind of getting to be a bit of a drag.
I guess more than anything, I will say I'm encouraged that this wasn't the TNA throwback I was looking for. This was a special subset of.
Oh, now you've got me started.
This wasn't what he was looking for. Well, sorry over there, Kubrick, but I guess we didn't get you what you wanted, now did we?
No, you didn't.
Todd, are we going to shoot some trap or what? So if
But
we're
you know what they
if we're going to
say.
shoot, we got to go.
If you can't find the movie you're looking for out there, make it. So maybe we'll make a TNA movie that captures what I'm looking for in a throwback film.
I like what you're
It's
saying.
in the works.
I like what you're saying.
It's in the
Exeter
works.
Flexeter. It wasn't an A grade, but the TNCC squeezes balls and makes lemonade.
Yes, we do. Well, sometimes.
I don't.
All I can say is right now, you are all friends and allies.
We are all friends
baby.
and allies. You know what? Good show, boys. I needed this. And you know what?
Totally did.
I had fun talking about it. That's all that counts.
What else do you need?
I don't need it.
What else do you need?
I don't need much. I do need some links from you.
Oh,
Okay.
No, not sausage links.
Okay. Sorry.
Oh!
That one is on. Oh, that one is on me. That one is
Okay,
on
so
me.
if you're
I'm not talking
on,
about real sausage links, see?
if you like the tweets, hit us up at TNCCcast on Twitter. If you want to see some beautiful,
We're big overseas on Twitter. The Brits love us.
the Brits do fucking love us.
Love my English peeps. Go Manchester United.
If you
None
like,
of that white national stuff.
if you like,
Manchester United is a soccer team.
If
Oh,
you
okay.
if you like beautiful cigar pictures, hit us up on Instagram, TNCC_podcast. Obviously, we'd like you to like our Facebook page, Tuesday Night Cigar Club. Beyond that, we would love for you to subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Tuesday Night Cigar Club, because then you can see all this beautiful man love.
I gotta admit, I don't see why you would ever listen to it when you can watch it.
Exactly.
Oh, it's
a
totally,
whole
it's
lot
totally
of man.
done.
Dude,
Well,
but
because
you got Coke and Spencer's over
My
here, man. You get
God,
some
we
good-looking
are
dudes.
handsome.
I will tell you why,
Pretty
because
fucking handsome.
we are huge in the cross-country trucker scene. They love listening to us, and we are huge in the overseas contractor
No.
scene.
If when I was driving with that coffee mug on the back, if it was a trucker next to me giving me the thing, I'd be like,
And I was about to say the doctor is single and looking until I heard Tut say we were popular in the cross-country trucking scene.
We're
Now I
huge.
don't know if I want to admit that.
we're huge with lounge
we are also
lizards.
popular in the contractors going overseas and doing a 14-hour flight.
Ice
You know,
truckers. We're huge.
You put in a couple of episodes with us, only 2, and then you'll
We
you'll
know of at
chew
least
us.
6 or 7 ice truckers who've died listening to us.
You can fly around the globe in 2 of our episodes.
It's true.
Literally.
pretty much.
Anywhere in the world. One episode.
We're out there. Find us. Thank you, boys. It's always a pleasure sitting here in the corner No Hope with you guys.
Always.
Man, 7 beers in.
Keep rehydrating. Doctor's orders.
I only did it because you told me that's what I
Doctor's
had
orders.
to do.
Keep rehydrating.
It turned out to be a pretty good beer.
I liked
It
it.
was a fantastic.
I have issues with their
marketing.
their
marketing.
measuring of
I've
their
choked 7 of them
IBUs.
down.
I will be curious to try other offerings from Friends and Allies. This is a new brewery, so I'm not very familiar with it.
Well, they lied. They lied to us.
They do have a multitude.
No
Yeah.
one's face melted off.
I'm looking at your faces. No one's faces is melted off. Tut, you're questionable, but I think you were yawning.
I'm just saying that most girls lie to me anyway, so I'm not going to hold that against them.
I don't like the misguided IBUs.
No, I mean just.
But it was
just do
tasty.
it.
We've got our
let's-
own
Very.
Mantervention.
And honestly, when I switched to a higher voltage cigar, the Hoya de Nicaragua 1970 Grand Consul, it told that beer who's boss.
Yeah.
And it went far better. But I did like the Fratello Bianco.
Well, we'll see what
Yes.
happens when I switch to a higher voltage Zima here in about 10 minutes.
Oh, that's all we got left. So, I hope you boys like Zima. Woo! Nothing goes better after 7 or 8 IPAs than some ice cold, refreshing Zima.
It is,
KCC brought to you from the Zima Hot and Fresh Citrus.
It is a refreshing citrus beverage.
Oh, geez.
Also, if you're on Amazon, are we still doing that?
Yeah, we still
yeah.
really are, man.
You didn't mention it.
I know. I totally should have mentioned it at the very front of the
if
show.
you're shopping Amazon, because some people are actually doing it, go to Amazon, or actually before you shop on Amazon, go to our page, click on the Amazon link. Then anything you buy from Amazon, we get a little bit of change. We can keep our web servers going. We can help with some of these beers that help us be so fucking entertaining.
And soon to come on
And
Amazon.
it doesn't
Help us pay the bills.
It doesn't cost you anything to do it. You're still going to play. All right, so that little widget that you want to get, or that cool thing that's like $20, you go and you buy.
Yeah.
It's just going to cost you $20. We just get a little
And
kickback
soon to
from
come on Amazon, the Doctor's New Cologne. Danky. Hold on, wait a minute. Is it after dark? No. It's danky.
It's after danky. I think this whole show was danky as hell, in a good way. I had fun, boys. Thank you very much. Yeah, come visit us at all those sites,
All those tights, too.
and wear some tights.
Hey.
Send
If
us
I
some,
could, I would.
Send us some pictures of you wearing tights. We'll be wearing tights next episode. We're doing Jim Cotta, so we'll be wearing our.
Finally,
We're going to do some
I've been waiting.
We're going to do some like pommel horse exercises?
I knew that would get him excited. We're not doing Jim Cotta.
Oh, man.
Bitch, how dare you build me up?
All right, we're doing Jim
I
Cotta.
was ready
Yes.
for it. I was going to do my pommel horse training.
It is our privilege to get drunk and entertain you every 2 weeks. So, thanks for joining us. What I usually say right now, I will say with God, it's hard not to be beaten down these days.
No, say it with spunk, man.
But
Say it.
I'm gonna say it with.
Say it, Cade. Say it the way George Washington meant it.
Well, he ate kids. He was a cannibal.
Well, not the master's
He
horde.
didn't eat.
And according to our president, his statue should come down too.
No.
All right, I'm going to say the way that my dad and Cade's dad, veterans of the Vietnam conflict, would say. Real troopers for America. May the wings of liberty not lose a feather.
May they never lose a feather, and we'll do everything we can to keep that going.
For those guys.
Fuck that noise. Sayonara, motherfuckers.
Well, folks, I am back from the hypnotherapist. Turns out what I thought was a disturbing Mantervention in my past was actually just an X-rated screenplay I submitted to the classic 80s sitcom Three's Company many moons ago, and that I had totally blocked from memory. You see, in my highly erotic and testosterone-drenched storyline, Jack and Larry find themselves chained up naked at the Regal Beagle, and when their blindfolds are ripped off, they're both surprised and alarmed to see a fully erect Mr. Roper holding a... You know what? There's a reason I buried this story deep. Forget you heard anything I just said. You understand? Forget you heard any of that. I am the voiceover guy for a very popular podcast. So obviously, I have resources at my disposal, and I will find you if I need to. In the meantime, to learn more about the cigars and libations enjoyed on tonight's episode, you can visit www.fratellocigar.com and www.friendsanallies.beer. Beer. How did I not know that was a thing? For more on O'Brien's Irish Pub, the live music leader in Central Texas, please visit o'brienstemple.com and download their free smartphone app, where you'll find full beer listings including over 40 on tap, menu information, and a calendar of upcoming live events. To listen and purchase music heard on tonight's program, check out www.fritzbeermusic.com. Thank you for listening to the Tuesday Night Cigar Club podcast. This is Keith A. Howell saying until next time, friends, unless we see you sooner at the pub. So keep it smoky, and for God's sake, keep it ballsy as well.